Okay, good afternoon to the good people of YouTube land. Happy Friday. Hi, Karina. How you doing? So, fair amount of volume overnight, which makes a change. Usually we end up with something like this, so we've had a fair amount more. So it's just trying to figure out exactly where we're going. It's just chopping up and down. It's kind of more sideways overall, I think, isn't it? I don't know. It isn't me lately. As soon as I start opening my mouth, I start yawning. As soon as I start talking, I'm yawning away. So, I believe we've got a US holiday next week, haven't we? Let me just have a wee little look. Interesting. All right, is that a message? Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? So yeah, I'm sure we got a holiday coming up. I know we got July, November. There is it Thanksgiving in November? That's the 20 something, isn't it? I think. Not sure what's going on. Hello, what's going on? Okay, so charts open. Sorry, markets open. That quick push down there. We got just above that middle line. The thing dropped. So 1, 2, 3. Is this going to be a triple test, or is this finally dropping to the lows? Okay, Bookmap is telling me there's orders down at 210. Sorry, 710. So my gut feeling is price is probably going to break that and push down, and quite a bit lower actually. So this looks like some kind of a correction. So I'll certainly be avoiding lows here. Now, it doesn't mean to say we're not going to, sorry, shorts. It doesn't mean to say we're not going to have two legs down and push up temporarily and retest the bottom. But what I'm seeing is orders at 10, at 5, and all the way down at 700. So look at that, more or less straight to it. So 5, there's orders there. And a little more down to 700, round number. So there's orders all down there. So this looks like quite a strong move down. So if we can get a couple of legs up and retest something here, I'd have a go short at that. Whether we will or not, who knows? So nice channel down there. There's bound to be profit taken down here. So hopefully if we get a little pullback, I wouldn't mind going short, because looking at Bookmap, you can clearly see these strong orders. Now, we know Bookmap kind of acts like a magnet anyway, but there's very little orders up here and a lot more down here. So price is probably, I was hoping for a pullback, but I have a feeling it's just going to break like it is now and continue down. Unless we get some more aggressive buyers. But this to me just looks like it just wants to come down. Hopefully we get a bit of a pullback. Even to test this bottom, I'd have a go. It's quite strong, that. So I looked into Bookmap last night. I think it's $49. Ben, good afternoon. Grant, how you doing, pal? Thanksgiving, yeah, I knew there was something. Russell, how you doing? I looked into Bookmap last night. I didn't realise you have to pay for data as well. I think it's just level 2 data. I'm not sure how much that is. I'll have to look into it. I thought it came with the package. Clearly not. Okay, so we get a couple of legs up here. I'd have a go short there. Got to be a bit careful though, jumping straight in here. 2 legs up, I'd have a go. So I'm just going to get an order ready just up here, just in case. It may just drop down. It looking like it is, to be fair. Trouble is, that's a fair old size bar and there's no room left really. If that triggers, I think it will probably come down, but wow, look at that. Never expected that. So there is more aggressive buyers. Let's bring this in a sec. You can see them. That's interesting. Trouble is, it's 19 ticks in it. There's no room to the lows. I think it will come down, but I'm sitting out of this just purely and simply because of the size of it. There is a lot of orders down here. I'd rather catch couple of legs or something. You've got to be careful there. It does look like it's going to work, but I don't want to get in there for 19 ticks. There's just nothing left. You're getting a tick below there. There's what? Point to the lows. I'm not risking that for a point. 19 ticks for a point. I think it will. Let's just make sure I get rid of this.
Order
it is
canceled.
working, I think, but 3 points. It was good that we had bearish, then it pushed up, touched that EMA and dropped again. That's a good sign, but even so, there's just no room. It would have to get down to there for me, which I think it probably will now. But yeah, I don't think there'll be any problem getting down there. It may pull back a fraction. I just don't like that. It's not really a second entry. Oh, look at that all of a sudden. Got to be aggressive buyers, isn't it? There's buyers at 5, which is down here. So I think you can get bookmap data from Apex for Can you really? $10 a month. I used to get debt when I've had my own account in the past. I think it cost me something like $4 a month for live data. I don't know why it was cheap. It is doing what I kind of expected. So it would have worked that, but it's 19 ticks and there's no room left. So I'm not risking. It's just not worth the risk, to be fair. I think it's $49. So with $10 from Apex, that's $50, isn't it? Now, in all honesty, I can kind of make this out okay without any great difficulty, but I've been watching a few videos about this and it is very clear and you can clear up some stuff, but I don't think I think I can survive perfectly without it. I don't need up to date, as in I can wait 3, 4, 5 seconds. It's lagging a fraction, but not much. But all I'm interested in is those where I can see where price is likely to go. So that's all I really need to know. I don't use it to trade with per se. You know, I use it as an indicator where is safe to entry. You know, if we have a pullback here, I know there's orders down here and where to stay out of, really. So it's not something I need up to date, you know, by the second, you know, information. I can get away with it. So I'll probably just carry on. But I said hello to everyone, I think I have, haven't I? So there we go. There's the first one hit, 5, which is there. You can see it's cleared that. Now, there's more down here, which I don't doubt. The trouble is, it's all good and well. We know where it's going, but it doesn't mean we won't get a little pullback in the meantime. But this is pretty strong, isn't it? There's that last stuff. It's probably 700 at the lowest, but you can see what happened. It came down to there. It came down to there. I put those 3 lines on there. I mean, look at that. I put those 3 lines on there indicating 3 strong levels of liquidity. And what happened? It worked. So having that picture, see, the bars are great, but they don't give you all of the picture. Let's say they give you 50% of the picture. Bookmap gives you maybe another 30% or 35% of the picture. It's done exactly what it was shown it's going to do. And I've used this now many times. So it does give you more confidence if you're taking a trade here that you may think it's a small risk. I'm going to hold on here. But it's done exactly. Well, look what it's going to now. Where's that? About 1991. You know what I mean? So it hit that one, it hit that one, and it hit that one. Exactly what I marked here based on what I was seeing here. So this is definitely valuable. I am surprised more patch traders don't use it just to give you that extra confidence. You know, it's okay seeing a big bearish bar down here, but all that means is during that period, there were sellers. It doesn't mean there's not a stack of buyers here going to turn the price up, or there's not a load of sellers here going to come up and stop you out before it pushes down. So I'm going to look into it after Christmas, actually. I think I can get away with it okay, but it's a small price to pay. I mean, what you save on you lose one trade, you've lost $150 on 6 accounts. What's that? $900. you can get the lifetime license for $900. So it's a small price to pay, I think. But it's definitely useful. Let's get this back in eye shot. So what am I seeing on it now? Most of those orders, those buy orders, have been taken. So you have to think now there's buyers getting in here. Now, are they going to eventually now turn price up? It's hard to say. You know, there's kind of mixed at the moment. These kind of light blue areas, slightly stronger at 90, which is probably just going to tick below where we've hit usually when we have a little break, price retest it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that 90 gets hit there. I think it will. There's bound to be a little bit of buy in there. Usually it'll push back down, I think, and just take off that little area there. It will do, I'm sure of it. So there we go. So straight through the 90. So it cleared those slightly stronger, but they were only ever so slightly stronger than these. Same again, you can see that a little bit brighter than up here. Not necessarily strong enough to draw price down, but with aggressive sellers, you can see there, maybe it will push it down a bit more. You've got a little bit more aggressive sellers, and these orders down here are slightly brighter. So my guess is it may come down a little bit more. It's not super clear like it was here. But look what it's doing. It's doing what we kind of worked out it was doing. So this does make life a lot easier. It gives you that little bit more confidence as well. If you were taking a short here and you saw strong orders down here, strong orders down here, strong orders, you may think this is probably, you know, if you can get into an order for 6 or 7 ticks, it may be worth holding. KQ, how you doing, bud? I mean, if you decided to get in there for argument's sake, I wouldn't do it personally, but if you did, it's gone down 20 points. Even if you followed each individual bar down to here, you'd have picked up 16 points. That's over the equivalent of 5 trades, 5 winning trades for me. So if it's not a huge risk, then I think sometimes if these orders are so strong down here, I think sometimes it may be worth holding on. Daryl, how you doing, bud? So there's orders just below 90 here. So my guess is this is probably going to come down before it does anything else. So that looks like a bit of a channel. So there you go. That makes sense. Orders just below 90. So that's probably 80, 89-ish. So judging by what I'm seeing here, this may pull back a bit and then push up a bit higher. I can't see any stronger orders. Any of the stronger orders now are up at 700. So I think this could hit this level and push up to 700. Okay, see those orders have got yanked. They've either got eaten or they got yanked. No, they got eaten. Where were they? No, it's below 90. We haven't got below 90 yet. They've been yanked. See those little bunch of orders there? They got pulled. They got pulled. So it drew price down a little bit and they got pulled. And what happened? Price pushed up. Now there's orders at 700 here, which is there. So that would give us 2 legs up. So I think that if we can hit 700, I'd have a go short there, 2 legs up. I'm not going to do it as it is.
Order submitted.
Just see those orders there. Channel break, new high. If we take out those orders, I don't know why I've got a gap there. Oh, I've got 2 separate lines. Oh, I don't think I'd take that. If it hit there and came bearish, I probably would. So we've got something like that, haven't we? It's tempting there, but with those orders at 7, I can't bring myself to do it. But if there's a solid bearish bar there, we might get aggressive sellers, which we're not at the moment, as of yet. So I think price still may go up a little bit. Okay, now, you see this? This is a few seconds behind. See, aggressive sellers just started popping up a few seconds ago, and that pushed that down a bit. It pushed down before I saw it here. That's because there's a few second delay on here. It's not going to make it any bigger, is it? See now, slightly more aggressive buyers pushing price up to this level. That's what I mean. I wouldn't have taken that. Now we're at this level. Now we pick up these orders. Let's see what price does. Channel break, new high. Now, would I want to go short here? Tough one, isn't it? I'm going to wait for a lower high. That's the sensible option because there's slightly more orders, slightly higher. So you've got to be just a little bit careful here. I bet you so now there'll be traders taking that short. I bet you now they're going to get stopped out. I'll be amazed if it doesn't stop that out. So there'll be traders looking at something like that. Channel break new high, in fact. Wow, look at that. Wow, that's still holding. Trouble is, it's going sideways now, so... Looking on Bookmap, sorry, pause that, you can see there's slightly stronger orders there, but not a huge amount, so it might not... See, we get aggressive sellers here a little bit more now, so that may now push down. It's hard to say. This is starting to look like a big of a channel to me, so... starting to look like a channel, isn't it? More than 2 legs up. That looked okay, but now it continued up. There's not enough strong orders here to tell me where this is going. I will say above price now, they're slightly brighter, but there is still down here. So I think a lot of this is going to be sorted out by the aggressive buyers and sellers. So there we go. So if you went short there, it pushed up and stopped you out. So there'll definitely be sellers there, but in all fairness, I don't know how many points. So 2 points, 0.75. It's a tough one there. So this is starting to look like a channel now, isn't it? So that's what I mean. So 705 up here. I expect that level to be hit, which is right there. You can see that it's slightly higher as well. So let's just shove this out the way a minute. I've given up thinking about shorts at the moment. So let me just
order cancelled.
Let me have a look here, see if I can't figure out what's going on. There could be something like that. We'll have to see how that reacts there. Touch, 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 possible touch here. And all of a sudden, 27 tick move straight down, right at this level. Now, what's that telling us? Look at that. That looks like rejection to me, right at this level. Look at the bottom. Touch, touch, touch. Now, let me just see. Right, my argument now is channel break, 2 pushes to a new high. So I think this is played out. Now, there are still orders at 5 there. Not super strong, but yellow nonetheless. So it may go up and touch that line there. I wouldn't want to go short here just yet because there's going to be some lower highs here. Now, if there's a nice lower high here, you may get a load of aggressive sellers selling that and forcing it down. See how it's fading? It was yellow a minute ago, that 7.5. It's fading. Those orders up there are dropping. This is indicating to me that this is probably going to push down. But at the moment, I'm just sitting tight. It's not pushing down as strong as I would expect it to. Maybe it will. At the moment, I can't see strong sellers here, but there's a few seconds behind now. They're starting to push up a little bit. But I'm just sitting tight at the moment. Now, there's a possible failure here. Something about this I don't like. There are still orders up here. just sitting tight. This is starting to look maybe a little bit rangy to me. So if you took that one, you got stopped out the lower high. So I didn't take that for that reason. See, they're getting a bit thicker now. So 05, they've just been yanked about 05, but there is some, maybe around about 8, which is about there. So if you took a trade there, it's bound to push up above there, because there's bound to be traders short in that. 705, look at it now, bright red. There's 705, which is right at the top there. So if it's got a tick above there to pick up those orders. So I think those orders, let's have a look at these sellers, see if there's aggressive sellers here. There may be, they are climbing. There's 6 million here, 4 million here, so that's pushing price down. Even though we got those orders at 705, it bounced off them a few times, and then aggressive sellers sold there, which pushed price down. Now we've got a small break here. This is starting to look like a little bit of a range. On average, how long does it take you to get paid? To get paid for an account, i.e. many days, the payout, on average, how long does it take you to get paid on an account? Are you on about when you first get an account? So I think that's what you mean. So I think operating at my best, I'm better off to trade one contract because losses don't hurt as much. Now, on one account, trading one contract, I don't think it's unreasonable to estimate a profit of around about $1,000, possibly a little bit more per month. So if you're going to get to, say, $2,600 before you take a payment, you're talking about 2.5 months. Now, you may trade it a bit aggressively. I've certainly done that in the past. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. The more aggressive you are at trading those, the more chance you've got of blowing them. So, you know, I was talking about this yesterday about, you know, the different way we trade when we kind of first start to make money. And the tendency is is to rush it, try and get paid too quick. That leads to blown accounts. And when you take the money, the account has a drop of money in there, and that leads you to be more aggressive. So by far the best way to do it is what I'm doing now, and aiming to grow these accounts to $7,500, risking one contract, which would be 2%. That is the best way. You know, professional traders talk about 1 to 3%. 2% seems to be quite popular, but you can't trade 2% on an Apex account realistically, because if you've got 2,500 drawdown, 10% is 250, 1% is 25, you'd be making $50. As a newer trader, you won't accept that. You'll naturally want to speed things up a bit. You know, if you're making a couple of $100 a week or less, it's going to take you 6 months to get a payment. And I'm not saying it's not the right way to do it. I believe it is. But we just don't do it as traders. We're impatient. You know, every day we're bombarded with stories. You can still see that order there. Every day we're bombarded with stories about how much people withdrew from Apex this month or last month, or and the tendency is you get blinded by the dollar signs and you try and rush it. It's natural. So that is done exactly what I expected it to. Took out that order. Now there are some at 7 trying to draw price up. Now what I'm thinking here with what I'm looking at, there are orders up here, but there are orders getting down below at 90, which is below here. So I think there's a good chance, because we've had this move down, we get 2 legs up. I'll talk a bit more in a minute about it. It's a process we all go through. You know, first time you get a payment, you don't give a shit, you want it. In fact, I'll argue with anybody who says they've traded it absolutely perfectly till their first payment. I certainly didn't. I would say probably about 90% of the payments I had were from more out of luck and rushing things rather than playing things, you know, the proper way. A little bit of a range here. You may trade that as a failed breakout, but I'm just sitting tight at the moment. The company's changed the rules in that month. Yeah, I mean, Apex, strangely enough, the best thing Apex did, it did traders a favor by, with Apex, when you got the $2,600, you could withdraw $2,000. 19 times out of 20, you're going to blow that account then because you're left with $400. So the best thing they ever did was make you get to $2,600 before you could take $500. That way, you've still got $2,000 in there, and that account is still valuable. So they did us a favor when they did that. The trouble is with Lucid now, there is a lower high there, but I'm just not sure what's going on here. The trouble is with Lucid and Traderfy, not that they're bad companies, but when you get to $3,000, you withdraw two, which is 2/3 of it. You've got hardly any left, really. And if you take a loss then, straight away, you know, you're taking risks. And then the trouble is then you've got to buy them all again. So it's buy some. It is like a slot machine. You put, you know, $10 in, you take 15 out. Ideally, you want to grow those accounts to the state where you can risk a sensible risk and aim to take a profit every month without having to put more money in, because it's a constant cycle of throwing money at it and getting a bit out. I tell you something, it absolutely wears you out. It's so stressful. I'd love to turn up here and just risk 2% and not have to worry about it. If you've got some skills to trade and you're risking 2%, there's no real stress involved. Absolutely. I think, you know, these companies like Lucid and that are great. If you can trade and make money, they're great to get in quick. Absolutely. Because I think evaluations are a pain in the arse personally. But they're great for newer traders. So what's going on here? There is a second entry long here, but the way this is coming down, we've got two legs up here. I think there's a good chance this comes down, but I'm not taking a trade just at the moment. Part of the reason is there are orders up here as much as 15, but there are strong orders down at 90. So I think the orders are stronger down below, but it does depend on the aggressive buyers and sellers. But I am going to buy this, I think, because I could have it as a whole screen and then just literally flick from one screen to another just to show people what I'm talking about. But at the moment, it's chopping sideways. We look like we've had two legs up, but with those orders up there, not as strong as down below, but see how these aggressive buyers are pushing price up? There's nearly double there. So that tells me that this is more likely to go a bit higher. Now there are orders at 5, so traders may be thinking if it comes back to 5, I'm going to buy. So this, I don't know what I'm expecting here, but this is to me looking like it may go a bit higher. Even though we have got strong buyers down here at 90. We'll see, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Sometimes you get mixed signals, which again is good, because if you've got mixed signals, you've got a reason to stay out of the market. Which one is my account balance value or net liquidation? Right, so which one is my account balance, cash value or net liquidation? Your cash value, I think. Let me yeah, your cash value is how much you've got in there. Now, bearing in mind, your cash value, if you're trading with Apex on Rhythmic, your cash value is going to be ever so slightly different if you've taken a trade, because it doesn't take into consideration fees, your in and out fees, your trading fees. It's only a small difference. So whereas it may show $1,000, $51,000 of profit. If you've taken a trade, there's going to be, $4 or $8 less than that. So, but yeah, your cash value is what your account currently sits at, minus any fees for any trades you've taken during the current day. So we got some news coming out. I don't know why news isn't showing here for some reason. You can clearly see I've got it installed, but it's not showing it. That's why it's always good to have two sets of news. This is Jan's system with the alarms, which I love, to be fair. But if I wouldn't have had this on today, I wouldn't have paid attention to that, because looks like we've got no news. So another good indicator that the news on its way as well is Bookmap goes black. You can see all these orders now. This is what it looked like a couple of minutes ago. They're all getting yanked now. There's always a few bigger orders left. So you want to be flat now. So yeah, everything's going black. In fact, there's some down at 90 still here, but it's only medium impact news, so I wouldn't expect too much, but sometimes medium impact news can surprise you. But yeah, most of this is going now. It's coming up now anyway in about 10 or 15 seconds. Net liquidation is actual value after commissions. Yeah, I was just talking about cash value. So news, is it doing much? Doesn't look like it. There is a lower high there. It's very tempting, that. 2 legs up and a lower high. Trouble is, the orders have gone here, so they're strong down at 90. It's tempting, that. Trouble is, it's 23 ticks, that. It's massive. I think there's a good chance now this comes back. I'd like a little pullback. Now, I just couldn't bring myself to take that because most of these orders on Bookmap have disappeared, so I can't see where those stronger orders. I can see there are some at 90, but they have faded away, but that would have clearly worked. So I don't think it was a bad trade there. This is indicating to me now it's likely to go down. You can see orders right down here as low as 80, which is below price. So I'd like a little pullback here, maybe retest kind of this area. And I don't think it will, to be honest with you, because 2 clear legs up. This is quite a strong indication with these 2 legs up that price is likely to continue down to the lows. 90 down here. So this is looking strong now. So there's where I expect it to at least get to, which is below there. So, it's likely a lot of times it will come down, hit these levels, and then have a pullback. We may get a small pullback here, but I don't think we're going to get enough
Order
of one,
submitted.
to be honest with you. Can't take that too far, although I do think it'd probably work. There's just not enough orders up here. There is some. Oh, they've just disappeared. There's a few there, but not enough to pull price up, I don't think. If we can get up to here. I think it's just going to continue down, I think, personally. Okay, that's interesting. I'm just going to throw this out of the way a minute, because I actually prefer that. Trouble is 14 ticks already. It's tempting, this. No, I don't like it now. I think it's probably going to work. It's an inside bar on this side, so I'm sitting tight. I think it would probably work. We've got a strong leg down with a break. I'm gonna have to wait for lower high, unfortunately, which I don't think we'll get. Yeah, it tracked back half a bar, didn't it? So we've broken below there. So I expect a small pullback. Now we've done that, but whether we will or not, order's still down at 90. So 2 legs down. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do at the moment. That 2 legs is going to take us right to where we expect price to go, which is down here. Unfortunately, there's just not really much we can do unless we get maybe a pullback. That needs to trigger, really. It's not going to. I was hoping that might pull back. I'd have a go at that then. It's bound to be liquidity, a stack of it here. So if it gets below there, this thing's going to launch down, I think. Come on, push up a bit. See, the temptation is to just to jump in. All the signs are pushing down to here, but you can't do it because if you just jump in and think it looks like it's coming down, you've still got to wait for confirmation because those are the ones that if you do jump in, they sting when you take the loss. And that's usually, that used to me lead to going on tilt when you know you shouldn't have done it. Yeah, it's a bit much. I mean, it looks, you know, the signs are there. It's a nice tight channel. We've clearly come up to the EMA. We've got a big bullish bar. It's triggered over, ticked and come down. It's large. If that was a full bar, I think I'd have risked it because I am only trading one contract because I think it's strong enough to have 2 legs down. And it did work. So this is interesting. It's going to be a ton of liquidity here. Do I really want to take that? It is kind of a failure, isn't it? But the trouble is I prefer it when it goes above and finishes bearish, not touches it and comes down. This is just got to work hard to get below that. That's what it is. Big bull bar, big posh strong bull bar. This is going to have to work to get down. Which why I think it's a bit of a pullback. We still may get another one yet, but excuse me. I mean, you can see those orders, can't you, down there at 90? They're very strong. The only thing that's going to keep this thing propped up is the aggressive buyers, and we're just not getting them. And there we go. Yeah, this is 3 or 4 seconds behind. I'm not bothered about that. I don't need it that much up to date. But everything's... This book map is explaining what's going on and where price is going, and it's adhering to it incredibly well, which is really encouraging. Kirk, how you doing, bud? Getting sucked in, jumping, flashing, but yeah, it does. Do you know what? I used to, going back a couple of years, I used to sit here for 3 hours and then go on about how patient I've been and how much of a good boy I was. And my patience would go the last minute and I'd just waste 3 hours by taking a stupid trade. Market looks like it's going down. Let's just jump in. It's got a tendency of showing you, teasing you with something that looks attractive, sort of attractive, but you do get wise to it after a while. But it's, yeah, I don't know if that's how it's kind of works or whether it just works that way or what, I don't know. But it's a shame we didn't get anything here, unfortunately, because what does this look like? Channel down, 2 nice legs up, 2 nice legs down, loads of liquidity down here. This is screaming where it's going. Unfortunately, Igor, how you doing? Now, there are lots of traders. What's that? There are lots of traders who will just put sell orders at these areas and EMAs and stop up here and ride them down. But not only do we... Is that Mozzie? Not only have you got to wait for it to get back to a certain area, we've then got to wait for a certain signal bar. That's crazy, isn't it? You have a great day. Yeah, you too, mate. You too. Nutty seems to trade like that. He just trades pullback. Yeah, I mean, it's a valid way of trading for sure. You know, I think the thing is, people like Nutty will generally get more trades than we do, but may not have the win rate, but generally make a bit more profit, I think. So now let's have a look. It's broken below the price. I'm pretty sure that's overnight. Yeah, it's overnight lows. So what is Bookmap showing us? Bookmap showing us there's still orders down here. Is that 75? So I think there's a good chance this thing's going to continue lower. I mean, look at this here. 695. There's orders there. 695, which is about there. Relatively strong, but this looks like it's dragging down to 85, 80, and 75. Okay, that's just done exactly what I wanted it to do. It's eaten up those orders. Trouble is now, sometimes they grow, but I don't think that's strong enough. So I think there's a good chance this thing is going to continue down. So 85 is there. So look, this thing could range a bit. So 85 is there. About 80 and just above, maybe somewhere around about there, and 75 down there. So for me, I mean, that's going up strong. I'm guessing there's aggressive buyers. Yeah, there are. There are more aggressive buyers at the moment. There's orders at 705. So whether this is some kind of pullback or a correction or something, looks like it may be, but there's still. So 85, see the 85 there, it's just got yanked. So that, buyers are gone. I'm not having that. Let's leave it. There are still buyers down here, but that has gone up fairly strong. So let's have a look what's going on. You know something, with this big move down, there's always a possibility. Let's just tidy this up a bit. There's always a possibility we get something like this. Maybe something. Oh, where'd that come from? We may get, you know, a couple of attempts to go higher. I don't know. I'm a bit unsure at the moment. Can you show how you see orders? They got yanked. I'll show you where they were. See this here? There. 85. They just got pulled, which is why I disappeared. There's still orders down here at 80, which is down there. And there's orders down there at 75, which is down there. So there are rather large buyers saying if price comes down, I'm going to buy. And as we know, generally price moves towards liquidity. Now, there's one thing that could stop that happening, is aggressive buyers not allowing it to come down, thinking this is going up, and they jump in. But if it's generally working down and we see layers of like we had here, layers, price did follow it down quite nice. But yeah, they got yanked. They just got killed off around about there. I don't know what time that was. So let's have a look. So 95 has gone as well, I think, isn't it? Yeah, they do change these. I mean, these are just passive orders sat there. All someone's got to do is just cancel them. 95, there was orders down here. That we don't need anymore. Channel break, new height, bearish bar. Now, what's confusing me at the moment is there are sellers up here and there are buyers down here. There's slightly more in the way of buyers, but it's relatively even. So the thing really now that's going to move this is aggressive buyers and sellers. You know, if you've got 10 guys up here wanting to sell and 10 guys down here wanting to buy, it's pretty even. it's probably going to go sideways. But if there's more aggressive sellers that just decide this is where I want to get in and less sell, it's more likely to move in that direction. So that's the thing to keep an eye on, really. But it does give you some really good guidance, this. Buyers or sellers. Buyers are below price. See these green orders here, and sellers are above price. So price at the moment is around about 707. So these orders above price that are in red are sellers. And everything below there, you can see there are buyers. So, you know, if you're a market guy, let's say you're running a market store and you've got some sellers over here, or you've got some buyers over here, whoever's kind of got the most money, you're going to go and sort them out first. So that it tends to kind of work that way, like a magnet. But then you may have some guys step out the blue from nowhere and go, I've got more than both of these, in which case the guy might go to those. So it's probably a bit of a lame explanation, really, but that's generally how it works. So it can be really helpful. When we had this, you could clearly see price was moving down, and here as well. We kind of had that sideways. You could see orders. See these 3 levels of orders I put. What happened? Price moved down towards them beautifully. So knowing where the buyers and sellers are give you an indication that you're, you know, if you want to see if I see a channel up here with a break, there's a short there. Now, why would I short that? Because it's a channel break, new high. You may think this is going down. But quite likely, if you see a big load of sellers up here, chances are, if you get into it, it'll trigger you, push up and stop you out. So it'll help you stay out of trades that, you know, sometimes when it's ranging and you're picking tops in a range, I've never been really comfortable with that. Because sometimes they'll work, sometimes they'll trigger you and push higher. But that's where Bookmap's really helpful. It shows you that if there's a bunch of orders trying to sell right where your stop is, chances are it may get up there and stop you out. So it just gives you that extra little bit of information that could save you a trade or two. Yeah, so when they started pushing up, this didn't look to me like a type of a correction. It looked like it was starting to move in the opposite direction. So the orders up here are quite strong. There is some down here at 80. But there's been generally, if you look at the buyers there, there's more aggressive buyers there than sellers. So that's forcing price up, even though there are sellers down here. So not only have we got more aggressive buyers pushing price up, we've got passive sellers up here with money burning a hole in their pocket. So that's generally sucking price up. So with that extra information, it can put you in a much better position when you know, thinking about trading. But it does give you a clearer image, and it does help you make better decisions. I think last week, I think it was early last week, there was a trader in, I think it was Dan's or Thomas Wade's forum. They took trades, and I left them because there was strong sellers. I think it was below. And what happened? This one particular guy lost 2 trades in 2 days that I stayed out of, primarily because I could see stop orders, as I could see what it. So it can help save you losses, and give you the confidence, you know, like down here, to ride this thing down. You know, if you took a short here and you like that, it was nicely at the EMA. For me, there wasn't much room left. But if that bearish bar there was tucked tight under here and I could see strong liquidity here, here, and here, I would have the confidence then to hold on to a trade through these levels, and at least then maybe tighten my stop once it hits these levels. So it can save you getting in and out of trades. And if the market's very strong going down, it can give you the confidence to stay in them longer and grab more profit. And that, to me, is kind of win-win, isn't it? You know, it's not a magic bullet, but it gives you way more information. So, would I want to go long here? See these strong orders here? Below price now? It's about 06, which is about there. So I wouldn't take a long here because my gut feeling is those, they're still there, but a chunk of them disappeared. But it still hit that level. So fortunately, that bullish bar didn't trade. There is a few seconds delay here, and it doesn't stop someone putting a big buy order here. And as price starts to come down, they can just yank it. Sometimes you'll see them pop up like that, and then a lot of them, you know, they change their mind. As we know, sometimes we'll get orders up and we'll just we'll change our minds. But there are buyers here, maybe at 702. So that might tell me, if I was thinking about going long, which I'm not anyway, that it might be advisable just to wait. They're not super strong, but they're enough to just to, you know, cause alarm here. Looks like about 702. So that would tell me this is probably going to go down a bit. So channel break, 2 pushes to a new high. So maybe there's something like that. See, there's orders at 5. There's buyers at 5 there, which is telling me I wouldn't want to buy here. Sorry, I wouldn't want to sell here because there's buyers here. You may think, oh yeah, bearish bar here, leg down channel. Let's go short here. But there are big buy orders there, so it might trigger there. Trap your short. I mean, it wasn't a good bar anyway. But if that had been really bearish, there'd have been traders selling there. Now it doesn't mean if you get a lot more aggressive sellers selling, it won't push price down. But just because those orders are below here, buyers, I wouldn't want to sell here. Speedy, how you doing, mate? And the bubbles are, yeah, all the bubbles are is where aggressive buyers are bought. So you know, pick any bubble. This recent one, buyers. The bigger the bubble, the stronger the buyers. And this is the heat map. The darker the red, the more orders are there. So there's quite a few orders there around about 05, which is here. So, you know, traders might think, I'm going to buy here. There's going to be trapping some shorts there. Now, if all of a sudden this looks like a good area to short, there may be aggressive sellers which continue to push it down through those buyers. But look now, price is moving up. It didn't quite get there, but aggressive buyers jumped in. You can see them there. See that big surge there? It was a couple of seconds after I mentioned it because there's a little bit of a delay there. But just as we were getting close to those buy orders, maybe buyers are thinking, we've triggered below that bar. Now it's time to buy. I'm not going to wait. And now it seems to be pushing up. They're still there at 05. I wouldn't be surprised if they start to fade. And now up towards 20, it's starting to show there are, but I'm guessing the aggressive sellers are going to squeeze up now. See if those, there's still buy orders at 5. So 2 legs up. I still won't want to short here because of these buyers. And look what happened if you'd have shorted there. Look where that's going now. I'm betting that those aggressive buyers now are going to grow. Not as much as I thought, which means it could still come down and trap buyers. It's just we've got mixed signals here. Right, okay. That's why trick below there, didn't it? It started pushing up. So with those orders up to 20, I don't think it'd be a bad option to buy there. Trouble is, I don't like, it's a bit wicky. the picture looks a little bit, but you can see those orders, can't you? But there's still some at 05. That's just causing me concern. There are orders up here from 15 and upwards. That's what I mean. So there's my cause for concern. So it's tempting to go long there, but just because those orders are down there at 5, I'm sitting tight. I was very tempted there, but just looking down here at these orders, it just made me a little bit cautious, and that would have saved me a loss. I don't know whether I considered it, but look now, see the aggressive sellers pushing price down there. There's liquidity along there's bound to be. So where's price going now? It's getting a bit confusing now, isn't it? It's a bit up and it's getting a bit choppy, but there is 2 legs down, so it's a bit sideways. So let me just see. Yeah, there's not much in the way. There are buyers down here. Let me just see what this other chart's doing. Very tempting there. Do I do it? I'm just not sure at the moment because we've got orders above and below here. So this is more about the aggressive buyers and sellers. So although it's 2 legs down, it's tempting to go long there. But we got aggressive sellers down here, buyers down here, maybe a little bit more than above. Surprise, yeah, so there you go. So that does look like 2 legs. So if you'd have taken that one, it triggered and stopped you out. So you can see these areas that are telling you to be cautious. You know, there are stronger buyers down here at the moment. So my guess is this could push down some more. Over 6 ticks. Yeah, it can help you, this. It can help you. To be honest with you, if you look at Bookmap now, just a quick glance of it, you've got strong orders up here, strong orders down here. So it's kind of a mixed bag. And if you just look at what's happening, it's chopping up and down. Now, that makes sense to me. There's sellers up here thinking if it gets up here, I'll sell it, go lower. And there's buyers down here thinking if price comes down, I'll buy this. Chances are 2 attempts and we're going to go higher. But it's looking a bit messy. So there are orders at 90 down here, so I wouldn't take a long for that reason. And there are orders up at 20. So pretty even at the moment. Kind of, you know, same amount above price than below price. But if you look at aggressive, there's more aggressive buyers at the moment. And that's slowly driving price up. Now, when that'll change, or, you know, they'll take profits and sellers will come in, I don't know. But at the moment, there's slightly more there. It's evening out a little bit now. So 2 legs down, and it eventually worked, but not before triggering you, stopping you out. So at the moment, it's a little bit dodgy to trade, I think. 1, 2, 3. This may be kind of like a triple test. 1, 2, 3. Trouble is, there are orders at 15. So I think getting into that is premature because there's bound to be liquidity up here. Although those 15 area, it's faded a little bit. So there's orders at 15 and orders at 20, but that's enough to say this could pop up and clear out this liquidity before it does anything. So I won't be taking a short here at the moment. You can see them at 15, although no super strong. I think it's strong enough to... that's not a bearish bar, but you could argue triple test. It's not bearish enough anyway. It is there. But I still think you got to wait here because these orders are up here. Sorry if I'm yabbering on a bit too much today. I'll shut up. Yeah, so 12, 15 and slightly above. So for me, I'd say 12.5 to 15, which is there and above between this level here. So I think price is going to do that. In which case, I think it'll probably trap some shorts. But if all of a sudden aggressive sellers come in and drive this down, it doesn't matter. Strong orders at 12 and there. So this would be a failure. Trouble is, do I really want to go long into all that lot? I don't think it's a bad option. 12, 15 and 20. Okay, that's going to be aggressive sellers. Yeah, there they are. Never shut up. Why does my wife not agree with you? No, sometimes I tend to, I'm a little bit hyper. I tend to work on about 1.5 speed. So sometimes I can probably get a bit much. I'm aware of that. So yeah, there's lots of orders above and below. And that is probably why trading has gone a little bit choppy. So if it's stronger down below, generally price glides down, for want of a better word. But at the moment, we've got a mixed bag of above and below. So I'm just sitting tight at the minute. Anybody doing anything interesting over the weekend? I'm taking my wife out to dinner tomorrow night. We're going to the Armoury in Shrewsbury. It's one of our local haunts. It's got the best whiskey selection in Shropshire. It's fantastic. It's also where Prince William used to drink when he was based at RAF Shawbury when he was doing his flight training. I saw him in there once, surrounded by some big burly guys. But it's an absolutely stunning bar. It's really large, and it's just got bookshelves all around. You go in there, you almost feel like you come out more intelligent. And it's got a fantastic, it's a beautiful menu, and it's got, in fact, I'll take a few photos. I'll take some photos of it tomorrow. It's a stunning place. They've got dozens and dozens of bottles of whiskey there. So we're going out for dinner there tomorrow night. So I'll take some photos of the place. It's just, it's beautiful to look at. It really is. But I keep getting bleeping for some reason. Let's have a look. Yeah, I got sell orders down here, so. Yeah, there is sell orders at 97 down here, but to be honest with you, price seems like it's lashing around at the moment. Possible second entry shortened down here. I really want to do that to myself. Their orders up at 7, so if it hits 7, trouble is their orders at 12. I mean, this thing could just trouble is it's very easy to talk yourself into something. Channel 2 legs up. But the trouble is we've got orders above and below, so that makes it a little bit more dangerous. Very tempted to take that, I got to say, but I'm going to sit tight. In all honesty, it is a little bit sideways here. See what I mean? We got orders above, orders below. This thing's just chopping back and forth. You can see it whipping back and forwards. And I think really any trades around this middle are a bit dangerous. So that it has triggered that, and it may work, but I just don't like this at the moment. A big mistake. I took a trade using 7 micros. I didn't swipe from the ES to the MES. Like most 200 managed to trade moves. Now I'm at break even. Yeah, it's frustrating when you make some money and give it. I'd rather straightforward lose a trade than win a trade and then lose a trade. It's frustrating. I hate giving money back. In fact, when I take a trade, I very, very rarely take another one. So that bearish bar there, see? 2 legs up, second entry short, it's triggered it. What's happening? It's easy liquidity, isn't it? But yeah, I know, I feel it, mate. But, you know, I was watching a video the other day of this guy, this professional trader saying you've got to, wow, look at that. Now that is aggressive sellers. Look at them rocket up there. Now, I don't think that's a bad short. It's like a triple test, but I'm staying out of a 25 tick trade. Leg down, leg down. I think it'll work. I wouldn't be surprised if Mac jumped all over that, to be honest with you, but I'm just staying out of it. I just don't want to risk that in case I've read something wrong, but that's what aggressive sellers did. They just saw that going and then they just sold off, and you can see they shot up there and let's have a look. I'm pretty sure. Would it have worked for 3 points? Maybe not. Oh, it may have done. It may have done. But I think really sometimes getting in, you get a little bit of FOMO there, and then all of a sudden it comes down, starts backtracking, and you start panicking. But whenever it does that from aggressive sellers, I try not to get sucked into the moment, if you know what I mean. But the tendency is when you see that, now, based on what I'm looking at here, it's probably going to push lower. It's certainly pushed below there, but you kind of get in here and it goes down and starts backtracking and you're like, oh my God, what have I done? And you're out. But it is a nice looking bar, I got to say. The only downside to it is 24 ticks. And losing 24, 25, 26 ticks it will be on a Friday. Might put a little damper on my night out tomorrow. But it clearly looks like a leg down with a few attempts to push higher and a big sell, and eventually it did push down, which it would have worked. So we've got a move up. We've got 2 attempts to push lower. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing took off now. So we rarely go out, me and my wife, actually, but sometimes we like to sort of get dolled up a bit. You know, put a suit jacket on and dress like a big boy and go out for a nice meal. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Now my daughter's 17, we're starting to go out a little bit more. You kind of spend most of your life in with your kids, don't you? Market is still inside, opening 15. Is it really? So, but yeah, I think that was a good indication price was coming down. And we did have kind of 2 legs, but for me, the trouble is really, if you take that, you're really supposed to be out before the lows for a Pat's point of view. And the size of it, if it wasn't so big, it might not have been a bad option, but so are we? Is there something like that? Maybe there is. Is this thing going to continue down? Let's have a look. It's very messy, isn't it? 2 legs down. Another 2 legs down. See, bookmap. There are more orders down below, but there are some above as well. So my guess is it's more than likely going to go down. But it's not, you know, it's not cut and dry. There are strong orders up here, so it's a little bit of a mixed bag today, isn't it? And you can clearly see that by how price is working. So 2 legs down. There is a second entry short there. It's very tempting, that is. But there are orders at 705, which is 1 tick above there. Can you see how strong they are there? They're 1 minute they're yellow, next minute they're pink. They're disappearing as this thing's finishing more and more bearish. I don't think it's a bad trade again. There's going to be buyers here, isn't there? But because this is a bit choppy and we have had 2 legs back, you never quite know. There are orders at 705, but I don't think they're strong enough to suck price up. So if price drops below here and here, I think it'll come down a lot easier. Same again, if it wasn't such a big bar, I'd have had a go at it. It is a second entry short. There's no doubt about it. If we get a bit of a pullback, I may have a go. Trouble is, we'd have to come back to here now. Got a little double bottom there. We're not far away from pushing below there. 2 legs back. There's bound to be some buyers there, which tells me there'll be some stops there. And that is where 95.50. Look at that. Big buyers at 95. So I expect price to push below there for sure. Unfortunately, it didn't pull back enough. But if you can see those buyers below there, and you can see that at a quick launch through it, those buyers, if you can see those buyers, you could work out what profit's available. You got 3 points to there. If it breaks below there, it's going to drop a few ticks at least. So there would have been 3 points available there. So you can work out, you know, purely for me, it was 24 ticks, I think, something like that. It's just a bit too rich for my blood. What was it? So 8.5, 0.5, 5.5. It's nearly... Okay, so you'd be risking 6.25 points tick above, tick below. I think that's too much on a Friday. If it was a little bit further up here, I would have had a go at that. It is looking like it's going this way, and with those orders down here sucking price down, if it broke below there, it did shoot down about a point, so it kind of worked. But now you can see these orders at 90. They're disappearing above here a little bit more. I think traders now are thinking there's no point putting sell orders up at 17. This thing is looking like it's on its way down. So a lot of these will disappear, and they're getting thicker and thicker here. So from like 80 to 87. So if we can get a pullback. So let me use this. So kind of 80 to 87. So there are orders down here. As you can see them. Slight pullback maybe to here, but I think this is going to continue down. In fact, I'm going to adjust this. I don't necessarily think that's a break. It may be. It's hard to say. So if we can get a bit of a pullback, then I'd have a go short there. But it's going to have to get up somewhere a bit higher. Ideally up here near that EMA. You can see how nice that EMA is fitting with this channel, can't you? So orders at there about 66-ish. About, let's have a look. $65, 66, around about 66 and a bit, which is, let's say, there. Let's move that way now. And then all of a sudden, aggressive sellers see them. 3 million odd, 2 million odd, and that just pushed price down. They're still there, so I wouldn't jump in just yet. They're still around about the 6.5-ish. 6.25, 6.5, which is somewhere around about there. But then aggressive sellers again. There they are, pushing price down. They're so strong down here, see. You know, that's asking for price to come down, isn't it? And when you see that, you know, sellers are just jumping in here, putting their stop up here and riding it down, I'm guessing. So from 95, which is around about there, to down here, so right below this. So yeah, from 80, just above 85. So that is got strong buy orders. Now we've had like 3 bounces here, so this seems like a good area to buy, doesn't it? We've kind of bounced. There are strong buyers down here. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to work. But if we can get a pullback here, I'd have a go at that. But unfortunately, because those are so strong, price just looks like it's, you know, with all those orders down there, and if you could see that, would you really want to buy here? Which is why sometimes it just continues to career down, unfortunately. Not giving you Now, if you are selling this as well, you could see we get some aggressive buyers. You're bound to get some bottom buyers buying early, which may push up temporarily. But then you'd expect then to some more orders to start sitting around about there, and see some more orders coming in here slowly around about, is that about 93-ish? Yeah, not as high as I would have liked. But there are sellers here thinking if price gets back here, I'll have a go. And that's kind of where you'd expect. They're not super strong, but they are there, and they do seem to be thickening 1 minute and disappearing. But they're that strong down here. I just don't know whether they're strong enough to suck price up. I think this will just drop into this area. There are some lower as well, 75. Whether it'll get that low, it may be the case of buyers are saying, if price gets into this area, if it drops out the bottom, I'll have a go at that. So there are some orders there at 90. You can see them there. Relatively strong. Whether they're strong enough, I don't know. Just to pull price, but you can see what's happening, can't you? Starting to drop into this area now. You know what? In fact, you know what I think I'll be better off doing? I only use this for entries. To be right, Wilson. All right, lad. I only use this for entries. I think I'll be better off pulling this down here because I only need to be zoomed here just for a better setup, and bring this over here. And I keep pulling it in every 2 seconds. Putting that maybe there like that. Yeah, I am going to purchase this. Yeah, see how price is just dropping in. So it explains everything really, doesn't it? Ah, that's better. That way I can still look at it as well. If I put the volume off, yeah, I have. So price did exactly what it. Oh, I've shut that down, haven't I? So exactly, price went exactly where Bookmap was showing us where the buyers were. So now there are buyers at 75, which is there, and at 70, which is there. Now there are orders up here, which is telling me maybe 86-ish. If price gets up here, there's sellers to push that down. So trouble is, that actually doesn't fit too bad as a 2-tier channel, does it? Strangely enough. So it does look like we've got one leg down with a correction, and now this is looking bearish, doesn't it? So there we go. Look. So see those orders there? They've just been hit. Now there's a little bit more up at 90. So there's more sellers coming in saying if we can get up to here, then I'll have a go at that. But we need 2 legs up, don't we? So let's put that there. See if we can get a break and a new high. And that then may give us an entry. So we know we got strong buyers down here. So if we can get 2 legs up, because sometimes if you don't know your channels right, it's hard to go short here because you're thinking, I can't get my channel right. So if the setup looks good, a nice second entry short, but you're not sure of the context, but you can see strong buyers down here, that gives you an extra indication that you are, you're thinking along the right lines. So channel with a break, we need a push up. So we can still see those all. They're still down there, 75 and this. They're quite strong. There's some down at 80 as well, which is at the bottom. But we want price to get up to 85-ish at least to get our second leg up and ideally break above there. If we can get 2 legs up and hit this level and finish bearish, that'd be a great trade. And that'll be a trade that I think I'd probably try and hold on as well. Yeah, see, sometimes as price gets up, other orders drop here. So it's just passive orders going, or let's sell. I'd rather sell a bit up here, see if I can get a better entry. Yeah, I'm going to purchase this, I think, to use it. I can see real benefits to it, and I can make it a bit clearer. It's not super clear. There's a few seconds delay, and I can adjust things to make it look a little bit neater. I think it's a small price to pay. If you can save yourself, if I've got 6 accounts or 7 accounts and I save myself 1 loss, that's $900, $1,000. You have an overshoot. That's what I mean. If you think there's an overshoot, you may avoid this second entry short. But if price gets up here, picks up these sellers, and you can see massive buyers down here, it may be an indication you can go short. So let's see if it's this orders. I go short here, I would, based on what I can see down here. It's buyers, buyers, buyers. It fits there as well, see. So it's click those orders now. Let's see now where this goes. It's very tempting to take that. Trouble is, there are still orders a little bit above here. So it's very tempting. It's very tempting. You know what? I'm going to take
order
this
filled
because some of those orders are disappearing and they're stronger down below. I was a bit on the fence there. A bit on the fence here, to be honest with you. I might get out of this. I'm going to get out of this, I think, if it'll let me, just for a second. And I might get back in. No, it's turning on me now. Come on, get me out, and I'll get back in if it looks good. Come on, we're nearly there. It did hit those orders.
Order
there
filled.
We go. So I'm out of it at the moment. I'll get back in if it's any better. There is a lower high there. I like that.
Order submitted.
2 legs up, lower high. I've got to take that. Yeah, there's not much orders here. There's strong orders at 75, so I think this is going to come straight down. So that worked. Let me just clear this a minute. Disconnect. Okay. I had some ghost orders, so that did exactly what it was supposed to do. I left it the first time. The safer option was the lower high, lovely lower high. All of a sudden, the orders up here around 90 faded, and these shorts went stronger. So that was a better indication. Thanks, mate. See what I mean, though? The first time I wasn't so sure. It looked like it, so I thought the safer option is to get out. And then I had more confirmation then to get back in. That is a nice setup. The bar was okay, but the lower high was better, I think. You can see down here 80, 75, 70. The orders above it aren't as strong. So there may be a failure there. We may even get the chance to go lower. Let's have a look.
Order submitted.
There's a possible failure there. Second entry long. Let's have a look. Still strong down here. Let's see how this finishes. Let's get rid of this a minute. 2 nice legs up, lower high. I think I have to take that, don't I?
Order submitted.
I have to take that, I think. I think I have to. I know it's looking like it's coming to get me, but I think I had to. They're still looking strong down below, so it's just one of those things, isn't it? It may get me. May Do you know what I think I'm going to do? Is get out of here on a bit of a loss, I think, and see if I can save myself
Order
a few
filled.
ticks. There we go. I'm out with a bit of a loss, but I've saved myself a few ticks. Now it looks like it's going down, look. May get back in here. 64. I mean, price might be holding, so I'd rather get in a little bit. I'm still up a little bit then, see? But I think it may just get me there. So I saved myself $100, I think. But now that's tempting. Trouble is, there are orders still up above here. Oh, now it would have worked, actually. I'm going to take
Order
this
submitted.
as kind of like a limit. If we get below there, 1, 2 legs up, we're trapping some longs there. Strong orders down below there. I think that's okay. We didn't stop the first one out. I'm in a little bit what's it than I expected, but I think this will work. If we get below there, it'll get easier then. We know we got strong orders down here. Sorry, down here and down here. We need to get below there, though. That's the trick. Still not super sure about this, though. We need to get below there. It'll get easier then. There we go. So we should be okay now. I don't like that pullback. I think we're okay. Let's have a look. Down at 75. Our all orders down at 75. I've just got to leave it, haven't I? Strong orders at 75. Just don't like the way it's going stagnant now. Something to get out of this. Let's see. Tempted
Order
to get out
filled.
of this. Woof! Oh, I should have held on. I should have held on. It just dropped. Oh, well, it happens, doesn't it? I should have held on. Do you know the ironic thing is, the lower high worked and the failure worked. It didn't. I should have just left it, to be fair. The failure worked. Classic. Yeah, it's typically in the set you get out, it drops. So 2 legs up, bearish bar. I waited. I got in, then got out, then got in at the lower high. That worked. And then I got in there, got out here a little bit earlier, but it would have worked. So if I'd have just left it, I'd have been up $300 instead of $120 or whatever it is I am. But it worked. Anyway, that was the main thing. Still orders down here. 2 legs down, but I'm just sitting tight now. So yeah, sometimes you're best off just leaving it, aren't you? I'd have had 2 winners there. Mind you, I'm still up around about $85 per account. So I'm up $504 after fees. So it's not over yet. So this does help you. It started going a little bit sideways, but it eventually followed its path, didn't it? So we have broken the lows here, so I'm just going to sit tight. But I can definitely tell this book map is going to give me more trades. Hell, there, pass the first eval with that trade. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Yeah, sometimes it's just, do you know, now I'm starting to think about not taking money and just trading how I'm supposed to. I thought I was doing the decent thing there. What I used to do is give it more of a stop. I actually got out and saved myself, I think, about 4 ticks. And doing that, it ended up working anyway. But that's fine. I'm still up nicely today, so you know, day's still relatively early. But I can see how you can see how this is working down, can't you? Strong orders down below, weaker orders up above, so you can see how it's working down. But the trouble is, the tendency is to think, let's just jump in short. But because we have such a tight stop, we've still got to wait for a decent setup. So the failure triggered, went down, stopped this out, and then pulled back. And then you probably got buyers in there, but it worked in the end. So I think the key, the thing to take out of it is just, you know, sometimes you're best off just to leave it. How nice does that fit the bottoms now? But it's, you know, there's a leg down with a correction. So, but if you can get in a nice early entry up here and price moves down quick, and then you don't see many sellers up here, but stronger buyers, you can try and hold on then. So I can see, I did decide to go back to 2 contracts, but I think 1 contract is less stressful and it'll give me the confidence sometimes if I'm getting really strong signals to try and ride price and make a little bit more out of it. You've adjusted your channel like that. Yeah, it fits along the midline quite nice as well, doesn't it? So book map, there's a few stronger orders up here around about the 82, 3, but not many. Most of them are around about 78 and 75. So 78 is about there. And down here, this looks like a little break though, so we may have to, excuse me just a sec, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Okay, so just Just wondering whether we're doing something slightly different. Maybe not. So it'd be nice. There's a higher low there. It'd be nice to trigger above there, which we haven't done. There are some orders around about the 3.5. Is that? Which is around about there, which will give us that second leg. Leg and a leg. So it'd be nice to trigger that bull bar there. Would kind of give us a leg and a leg, wouldn't it? I don't think it's going to. Nah, down it came. So it's hit those orders nicely. And there's some at 75, which is there. So I'm going to spend the weekend cursing the German rednecks engineering. Supposed to be good German engineers, aren't they? German motors are supposed to be good. We've got two cars. We've got two Vauxhalls. We've got an Insignia and a Grandland X. Now, the Grandland X is just 4 years old, and I've just had to spend £1,500 on it. I think it's the main, I don't know what they call them, the management unit, the head management unit or something is just gone. £1,500. The radio module, the bit that fits into the back of the multimedia system, last year that was £1,200. And the drive belts that these cars have, some bright spark thought it was a good idea to run this belt through oil. So it's called a wet belt, you probably know. But so to change that is £1,200. So I'm looking at getting rid of this car. And I've been looking at a Toyota hybrid. We're looking at the Corolla as one of them. I didn't realise, I still thought you had to plug electric in, but no. Apparently, when it's driving on petrol, the petrol is charging the battery. Okay, two legs up here. So orders up here at around about 3, which is there. Let's see if we get a short up here. 2 legs up. Second entry short there. There's going to be a higher low there. Attempting to go short there.
Order submitted.
Down to 75. Is there enough space? Bloody big though, isn't it? Oh, do I really want to risk that much? No, I don't.
Order cancelled.
No. I think it will probably work. There's a higher low there, so if it hits the higher low, it'll probably come. But I don't like that stem, to be honest with you. Try Tesla, no maintenance. Is there not? Really? Teslas are a bit out of my price range at the moment, to be honest with you. It is looking like it's coming down. If it breaks below there, I just didn't like it. Was a big bar and I didn't like the stem, but it is. I think we paid, I think it was about 13,000, no, it was about £12,000 for the Grandland X, which is about, what's that, $18,000, somewhere around about there. And the other car we've had, it's running out of its life soon. It's a Vauxhall Insignia. We've had it from 3 years old, so we've had it 10 years. Because I'd never go anywhere really, apart from potter around where I live. So, you know, as I work from home. So, some Teslas I like, others I'm not so keen on. But the car list is changing rapidly, isn't it? I know, well, I think it was, we had to change over. We weren't in the UK allowed to sell any new petrol or diesel cars from 2030. I think they put it back to 2035 now. I think you can, I'm not sure whether you can have hybrid even. I think it's just electric. I mean, you know, we've got to get rid of fossil fuels at some point, haven't we? It's the way the world is. I think before they do, I think most of us will be long gone. So there are strong orders at 75 down here. You can see them, but there's not much. There is a lower high there. Trouble is, we're at the lows already. It ain't finished yet. So that would have worked. But two things I didn't like about it. One, or would it have done? No, it wouldn't have done. Yeah, just, yeah, it would have done. I'd have to get down to there. It was just the size of it and that stem. You can clearly look like two little legs up. What I like about it is you got a higher low here, so you're bound to have traders picking bottoms. But I like the Jaguars. I do. I like the F-Pace, and I like the Land Rover Velar as well. So I think when I get myself a nice car at some point, it may be one of those. FSDs. Yeah, you're US, aren't you? Are you Canada or US? One of those, aren't you? You tend to drive bigger gas guzzlers, don't you? We can't afford it. I mean, the fuel over here is ridiculous. We got the most expensive energy prices in the world, I believe. It's crazy, yeah. So my gas and electric, I pay about £220 a month, which is about $280, something like that. It's crazy. And then we pay council tax, which is about another £150 per month. And then you've obviously got your income tax on top of that, your national insurance. And it's life to me now just feels like one big money-making machine. When I was younger, when I was a kind of a young teenager, we never had mobile phones. We never had Sky TV. So there's so many more things to pay for now, YouTube subscription, mobile phone subscription, other types of, gaming subscriptions and all that. So it's one big money-making system, life is. Even Christmas nowadays, I find Christmas stressful, although I love it. It's just money, innit? Money, constantly. We've got Amazon now, which we pay for monthly. We've got Netflix, which we pay for monthly. We've got Sky, we pay for the sport channel. We pay for the movie channels. My daughter say it's just constant America. Constant money. So I was just reading something at the time. America, way worse taxes, no benefits, really. No, yeah, you haven't got healthcare. I mean, we got the national health. Sometimes, I mean, it's great to have, but you can be waiting. Put it this way: I went into hospital, as most of you know. I went in kind of twice. I ended up having my gallbladder out, but I had what they call a hypertension attack. Apparently, all to do with this gallbladder. And I phoned up and spoke to, you ring 111 in the UK and phone number 111, and they talk you through it and say either go up. And they said, we'll send an ambulance out to you. It'll be about 4 hours. Yeah. Now, I had the worst headache. I couldn't move my neck. So their initial thought was either a brain bleed or meningitis. And they told me the ambulance would be about 4 hours. It's mad. So I went, forget it. My wife will drive me up. We're 1.5 miles from. So I went up there, saw this Indian guy, really nice young lad he was. And he looked at me and he got another registrar to have a look at me. And he said, okay, so we think it might be a brain bleed. Yeah, that's how I went to ER. It might be a brain bleed or it could be meningitis. So they sat me. I was in the worst pain. I was in bits. I really was. I was just holding my head. I've never felt kind of like that before. So I had to sit in the waiting room for about 45 minutes. When you see these programs on the TV, they fly you in via helicopter. You've got a team of 15 people around you, or none of that. I sat in the waiting room for about 40 minutes. And then they came and did my blood pressure. My blood pressure was, I don't know, it was like 195 over, so it was ridiculously high. So I had one of these lumbar punches where they stick it in, they draw some of just to check for meningitis. That was clear. Had a CT scan, everything was clear. And they think it was just all to do with this gallbladder. But until I got a room for the night, I had to sleep in a little room with a half fold down chair, because they didn't have any bed spare, none in the hospital. And then I got transferred to another department and I had to sleep in a temporary bed for another night before I got on the ward. The National Health is good in a way, but it's that behind, it's unreal. You go into hospital and people are running around doing ridiculous hours. They're running around like blue arse flies. And there's just, there's this thing going on at the moment. What do they call them? Corridor patients or whatever that spend 2, 3, 4 days in a bed in a corridor because there's no bed. So the National Health is not without its problems, that's for sure. One good thing about having private medical treatment is you get treated relatively quickly. That's, I'm assuming, if you can afford it, which obviously many can't. But we have our tax and our national insurance, which, contributes to our kind of pension when we get old. And all your medical stuff. But the trouble is, if you get something serious, you could be waiting weeks to get seen. And, a lot of these serious conditions, cancers and all that sort of stuff, time's of the essence. And that's where, the NHS can let you down. But that's not knocking the people that work in the NHS. They're brilliant. They work their asses off under really, harsh conditions, especially when it comes to COVID. Probably the most dangerous place to be during COVID was in a hospital, and you expect hospital to kind of be the safest place, where you've got experts in that range. But I wouldn't have wanted to be a nurse or a doctor during those times, that's for certain. Paying insurance, how private? Yeah, I mean, we could top up. I could top up and have private care in here. I don't quite know how it works. I think you still go through the NHS, but when you have treatment, then that treatment is done privately. So if you need, I had some cartilage out of one of my knees a bunch of years ago. I tore some, and I had to wait about 9 months to have that operation. It's not dangerous. It's not life-threatening. It just means I was limping for the best part of 12 months. It took me, I went and saw my doctor initially. I did karate for 17 years, and I tore some. I went to my doctor initially, and he does the usual thing. The GPs, they say, go away, rest it, do some light exercise, take ibuprofen, and that's it. But I knew something wasn't right with it. So then I went back a few, and then I got referred to a specialist, which took about 4 months. I went to see the specialist, and he said, we'll do an MRI, which was about another 3 months wait. And then when I had the MRI, I had to wait about another 6 weeks to see him. And then he said, you need an operation to take it out. And that was about another 4 months. So it's, it's good to have. It's good that you haven't got to worry about it. But if you need stuff doing, it can take time in the UK. So you're making now trading same salary as a UK doctor. I'm hoping to make more at some point. It's not the people who work in the NHS. It's the government. It's that muppet that lives in number 10 at the moment that's running the show badly. So I know Nigel Farage and the Reform Party are gaining traction massively. We need some change in this country, without a doubt. It's crazy. So hopefully, fingers crossed. So I'm seeing orders at 70, which is there. Quite low down, actually. This looks quite strong to me. So, and there are orders down about 67 here. So we may get a bit of a pull. Usually when we get these channels, they become less steeper. This thing seems to be getting more steep. So there are orders around this. Just a few more popped up. Around about there. So trouble is we need a second entry short really to take anything here. Orders are going down as far as 60. They're not super strong there. 66 they are, but we're already more or less at 66 now, so there's nowhere to go really. Let's take one of these. So there are orders down as low as 60. As I say, they're not super strong at the moment, but price is looking like it's getting drawn down. You can see those orders at 62, which is 72, sorry, which is about there. So we may get a little pullback here or a break. If we can get two little legs up, we may get something down. Looking at the polls, Reform of the Green Party could be the biggest parties. Absolutely. I'm hoping it doesn't go as far as the next general election. To be honest with you, I'm surprised that his party hasn't had a vote and no confidence, because things just seem to be getting worse and worse. If they do something now, they've got a chance to recover. But if they don't do something now, voters just will never forgive them, regardless of whether they get rid of him at a later stage. Nothing I can do just yet. So, but I like Nigel Farage. There's something about it. He's a trader, isn't he? He was a commodities trader, so he's one of us. So I like him, I do. He's not frightened to speak his mind. He's not frightened to say, I want Britain looking like Britain. I like him. We need somebody a bit different, someone a little bit dynamic. He got us out the EU. He took years to do that, but he eventually did it. So, channel with a break. That looks like. So, these orders I noticed down here aren't as strong. They're still there around about here, but they're not as strong. We pay $700 per person per month for health insurance. No way, really? $700 a month? Mickey, I didn't think you'd pay anywhere near that. I'd have said maybe $150. Christ, that's a lot of money, that is. Said about £550 a month. Mickey. That is a lot. I'm not sure what private health insurance is in the UK. I suppose it depends what type of cover you've got. But didn't Obama bring in some kind of basic sort of medical care? Was it called Obamacare or something a bunch of years ago? Is that still going or not? They earn more in the US. I'll tell you one thing I will say. Things are a lot cheaper in the US. There's probably the exceptions to the rule, which there is, but so fuel over here. So if I put diesel in my car, I'm paying about £1.40 per litre, which is about $1.75, somewhere around about that. Lots of things are cheaper in there. I used to be in a bit of photography, buying cameras and stuff so much cheaper. Cars are cheaper, fuel's cheaper. There's always the exception. And have you had an issue with eggs quite recently? Expensive and hard to get. I'm sitting tight at the moment. Those orders down here that were strong have dried up. Everything's kind of light blue at the moment, so I'm just sort of sitting tight. And price to me is just looking like it might just start to go a bit sideways. 36% of NHS doctors are non-British nationals. Yeah. I don't think he would. I think it's the illegal immigrants that are kind of coming over, really, with kind of no jobs, no money, and it's costing the country an absolute fortune to try and keep them, and it's. No, keeping people over here from other countries who are prepared to work and are of value to the, I've got no issues with things like that. It's just, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's the government. They've made it so attractive to people. They come over, they're picked up, they're given a life jacket, they're brought into the UK, they're given a mobile phone, they're given money, they're put up in a hotel. In some cases, they've been able to have these pampering services. It's crazy, really. It's costing us an absolute fortune. But it's when they come through half a dozen other safe countries. You know, I understand if people are in war-torn countries and that, I'd want to leave myself, but they come through a bunch of other countries that are safe first and then take a risk on a rubber dinghy, over the North Sea. It's crazy risk, and because we give handouts. It's crazy. But no, doctors and stuff, we need them. They play a massive part. And if they come over here and work and we need them, absolutely, all hands out to them. It's just when they come over here, do nothing, expect just handouts. As far as I'm concerned, you've got to work for a living. If you go somewhere and go to another country, you've got to work, and you've got to contribute. I've got no issues with that at all. But, we've had some come over here and they've attacked people and stuff like this. And I don't know. So I don't know what's going on here. So at the moment, there are a few orders below price at the moment. In fact, just below that bar there. But I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. That did seem a little bit too steep to continue down. And that is too bigger of a break for a channel like that. So, I'm not sure what's going on here at the moment. They do, but I think they tend to come in from abroad. I think you get lots of Indian doctors coming in, but I love the Indian people. I think they're a great nation. They're passionate about cricket, which I love, is my sport. And they just want to feed you. I've worked with some lots of Indian people in the past. My wife does, and they're really super friendly and don't half know how to cook. But they get on with it. They don't ram religion down your neck, and they just get on with life. What's going on here? So for instance, like this halal meat and all that sort of stuff. We've had our family members, older grandparents fighting for our values that we hold over here, and we have animal cruelty and animal. If you have meat, it's got to be treated right. I just don't agree with halal meat. I don't agree with putting an animal's head in a vice and slicing its throat. But the trouble is now a lot of our local shops are halal meat, so we're kind of forced to eat the meat which hasn't been treated right for other religions. I think if you come into someone else's country, you follow the rules and regulations, you don't adjust them or adopt them for you, and you kind of fit in with society. You do your bit and do your work, and you should be valued. But, if you come into another country and you say, we don't like your laws and regulations, we want... we know lots of other countries, women's rights are completely different. And, lots of places around the world, they can't drive, they're not allowed education. That's not how we look at things in here. We've got equal rights. And if you come to another country, you've got to fit in. You can do what you want in your own home, but you treat people the same way. You follow the laws, and the same, the same thing with animals. I know it's a touchy subject for some people, so I won't talk too much about it. But you've got to be fair to people. Your own lifestyle. Yeah, I think if you're going to kill animals, you've got to do it humanely. Now, I know, there's a big gun culture in that, but they shoot an animal, they don't hold its head up and slice its throat. I think it's just not on, really, personally. Especially when, we've had those laws in this country for a long time. I wouldn't kill an animal for the sake of it unless I was going to eat it. I'd certainly treat it as best as I could, and I certainly wouldn't, want it to suffer. And I think I've seen it done before, and it's just not very nice. And if you go to another country, you shouldn't expect them to bend over to make things better for you and forget about, your own citizens. We fought for values in this country. I've been part of a military family for a long time. And we kind of fight to have, our rights and and to change things for people. I don't think it's fair. I certainly wouldn't want to go to another country and say, I'm sorry. It's like going into someone else's house and moaning about the colour of their wallpaper. It's nothing to do with them. You want to come into my house, you respect it and you live with it. I won't say anything more anyway. I'll probably annoy some people. This to me is getting a little bit choppy. This was relatively clear, but it's getting a little bit uncertain now. And looking at bookmap, we got orders above and below, and it's just a little bit chippy choppy, isn't it? What was it? There are stronger orders down here, so my guess is, where am I looking at? Around about 670 and below, down to maybe 65-ish, somewhere around about there. So below the lows anyway. So I think there's a good chance this comes down. There's no lower high there. There is there, but that's just too far from the EMEA. That's asking for trouble. So to the mountains in Switzerland. Switzerland's beautiful. I travelled through it once years ago. What a lovely place. Can't beat mountains and lakes. There's something about it. Suppose it's the same with bullfighting in Spain, isn't it? But that's kind of how the Spanish do it. That's what they do. It's a sport to them. You can't come into their country and say, we don't like this, we don't like that, change it. Can't do it. You have to respect people sometimes, even though you don't like things, but you can't come into someone else's place and start telling them what to do. It just doesn't really work. Anyway, I keep saying I'm going to shut up about it. So I'm going to annoy people. There is a second entry long there, which is triggered, but it's a bit sideways there. So for that point, I'm going to sit tight. There is some orders up here around about 75, so it may have a little pop up. They're not super strong, but they're no weaker than the prices below it, so we may have a little push up here. Yeah, you can't take anything here. It's just too risky. If you did, it's likely, yeah, okay, so it did find those orders. So those orders are taken now. So my guess is that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's no good anyway. I still think this is likely to come down. But I'm not taking that at the moment. As tempted as it is, there are orders at 77. The orders at the moment I can see are not very strong in any direction. If anything, they're slightly stronger above here, which tells me this could push up a bit more. We could have two little legs. So I'm not taking that short there. It may well work, but that's irrelevant. So I'm guessing these aggressive sellers are going to climb. Yeah, there they go. Excuse me. I suppose if you look at it in relation to the EMA, it's kind of where you want it to be if you're looking for a short, but there wasn't enough passive orders above or below price to drag me to a certain direction. And as soon as I saw that push down, I looked up, and then a second or so later, you could see those aggressive sellers starting to climb. So there's sellers getting in there, just selling there, and I suppose it kind of makes sense. But this is a couple of 3 seconds behind here, so you usually see it after the fact. But stronger orders at 70 and below, which is there. Unfortunately, there was a breakout pullback there, so that may work short. But the trouble is, we're already at the low, so I just can't take it. But I do expect price to get down to 67, 68-ish, somewhere around about there. I think that will drop. Lag and a lag. It's just, I can't do nothing down here, really. As you know, relatively confident I am price is going to go down. I still need that information and a signal bar. Yeah, see what I mean? So if you did decide to jump in there, that thing just launched up and took you out. I didn't see that coming. So you can see them aggressive buyers just shove that straight out. I didn't like the look of any of this, to be honest. It's a little bit choppy, but if you decide to think there's a push down there, let's just sell here. What happened? It just launched up. So there are orders at 80. So I would probably avoid a short here, although it's kind of tempting. Now, I don't like the way it's flickering around here. This, yeah, aggressive buyers and sellers. And what's happening now that's causing this all of a sudden strong buying and selling? 2 legs up there. It's tempting, that. Trouble is, it's 18 ticks. And price is rattling around a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of suck my hands here and kind of stay out the nonsense. Does look like it's ready to move down again, but just at the moment I'm sitting tight. Orders are down here. Let's have a look. Fraction above 70, which is about right. So my guess is it's probably going to come down. Could get in this here on a limit order if you wanted to. I just don't like the way price is flickering around. There's a lower high there. I prefer that lower high to be a bit further up. There's just no room to the lows. It ain't finished yet, and it's already 14, 15, 16 ticks, so there's nothing I could do there. There's the orders I can see, and a little bit lower as well, kind of between that area. I'm pretty confident price will get in there, but I can't get short there. We're already at the lows there. So that turned out okay, didn't it? But I think, just depending on what you're seeing, sometimes I think you're better off waiting for the lower high, ideally being about here and not there. You've taken a trade today so far, Mark? Yeah, I've taken 2. First one, so actually I've telling you, I've taken 3. So have I taken 3? I think I got in there and then got out for break even because I wasn't sure. Then I took the lower high and that worked. And then I took the failure and got out for a small loss. in the end, it worked. So I'm up just under $100, taking away fees. But I can definitely see Bookmap getting me into more trades. It's just a shame that wasn't a bit bearish, because I actually really like that. Look how well it worked. Yes, if anybody doesn't know, Apex have extended that that offer. That's 70% off and $40 for the event. Someone was talking about that yesterday. They were just coming to the end of pass and their evaluations, so they would have been able to pay $40 for them as well, which is good news. So it did what I expected it. Trouble is, it's a little bit choppy, isn't it? But it did work nonetheless. So the order's now around here and down here as much as 60, which is a fair bit lower than this. So I think there's a good chance this thing's going to continue down. I'm going to ask myself the question now, is there another channel going on there? Or is it with a break, 2 pushes to a new low? So it does look like there may be a second leg down there. We haven't been down here for a bit, have we? So this is a few seconds below. So I mainly use it for if I'm deciding to take a trade and I see, if let's say I'm deciding to take a short here and I see on Bookmap there's a lot of sell orders here, there's a good chance it may trigger me and push up, so I'll stay out of a trade. Now, earlier on when we saw this move down, it was here. You could see, in fact, I had another level here. You could see there was 3 strong levels of buyers down here, and that started moving down strong. I was looking for a setup here. That one I didn't like, although I thought it would probably work. So it would give you the opportunity to possibly ride it down. But at the moment, just looking at it, all I look at is the heat map mainly, and then occasionally there. I can see at the moment that price is obviously bearish at the moment, and you can see how price is following this down. Now, you see these orders popping up at 72. That would tell me this thing may pull back a little bit before it pushes down. So if I wanted to take a short here, I would probably avoid it. Now, if there's aggressive sellers that get in here anyway, it may not make a difference, but you can see those orders. In fact, they're 2.5, which is about there. Funnily enough, above that bar there. So I will wait for a short, but I can see there are strong orders down below here and further, indicating to me that price is likely going to continue down as it is. It didn't get back there, unfortunately, but strong buyers below, then should you not be saying it's going up? Well, a lot of buyers will be trying to pick bottoms for starters. You know, if you're going to pick a bottom here and you catch the bottom, you might potentially get a big move. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. So at the moment, you may say we've had a break, 2 pushes down to the low. I'll go long here. But to me, there are orders at 65 here, so I wouldn't be going long because my gut feeling is it's going to come down a little bit more. But there are still those orders at 72, although they're not super strong. But if we get aggressive buyers at top right here, it still may push price up. So you've got that ongoing battle. But at least, you know, when you look at the heat map, we know we've got orders down here. So if I'm thinking about going long, that might just keep me out of a dying trade. But I can you never quite know when the downtrend's going to end and things are going to change. But at the moment, I can still see orders. And as we know, price moves towards liquidity. It acts as like a magnet, and you can see there's a magnet down here sucking price down. So if you did see two legs, you may decide to take it short. So it can be, it can help you out. There may be a channel there, so I'd prefer to push up. I can see there's orders on Bookmap there at 72. So if price has two legs up and gets to here, I can understand why sellers are going, I'll put my sell order there, because if we push up to here, I think there's a good chance we come down. So let's see if these orders get filled. So there we go. So price went up to those orders. Now, there are a few more orders further up. So there may be sellers going, well, if price gets up to here, I want to get in a little bit earlier. I'll sell to go short. So are you more confident? So absolutely. That's what it does. I've used Bookmap before, but I've never really used it with a decent effect, to be honest with you. So the main reason I started using it was where not to get into a trade. So can you see this channel down here with a break and a bearish bar? You may think about going short there, but if you look on Bookmap, 77.50, there are a big chunk of sellers there. So in a lot of cases, price will move towards them. So you might get in short here and it'll push up and stop you out. So if I'm thinking about a short trade, I like to see that there's not enough sellers above or where my stop is to drag price up. You see what I mean? So there wasn't a bearish bar here, but you can see there at 78. Price has moved up a little bit higher there. So as we know, a lot of times price will move up and clear previous liquidity. So it gives you a bit of confidence. If price is moving down like it did here, I can't remember where it was now. Was it there? You could see there was orders. There was 3 big loads of orders and not much up here, which is telling me this thing is definitely going down. So if you can get into a short here, it may just give you the confidence to hold, in which case that looked to me like it was going to drop like a stone, and it more or less did. So if you'd have got in here, you could have potentially got up to 20 points there, maybe a touch more. So if you can see where the orders are, you've got the confidence that this thing could go down. So can you see this bearish bar up here? Let's see how it finishes. I wouldn't take a short there, although we've had a break and a new high, because I can still see there are big sellers up here. 77.5 and 80. Now, you'll see the aggressive sellers pop up here. Can you see them grow now, which push that down? There's a few second delay on here. So even though these orders are up here, if enough sellers sell here, they'll overpower these. Can you see these are starting to fade a little bit, although they're still there? So it just gives you more of a clearer picture. So you can see there's more aggressive sellers here pushing price down. So although we had those orders up here, price didn't get up there because sellers didn't let it. They were basically selling. Gauging whether enough buyers or sellers are below or above level depth of colour. Absolutely. The deeper these colours, the more orders there are. So if there's nothing much up here, bar these faint orders and deep red orders down here at levels, price will move down towards those. Now, the one thing that could mitigate that is aggressive buyers, but you're going to have a lot of aggressive buyers buying if price is looking very bearish. There's no reason aggressive buyers would buy if it's looking very bearish. So the best way to use this really to get a bit of confidence in it is just see where these orders are and just watch price, and things will start to make a bit of sense. Now we had orders at 77. See the orders at 77? They've disappeared now because there's no point in putting a sell order up here because price has already gone down, hasn't it? There's some at 72, which is down there. So they may be saying if price pulls back to here, I'll put a sell order in there and try and ride it down with you. But the 72 orders are starting to fade now. They're getting a little bit stronger here. But you can see strong orders at 65 and 60. So this is where I expect price to go down to. So the deeper the colour, the more orders are there, more chance price has got. So if you want to take a short here and there's a massive sell orders above you, I would avoid it. And so many times when you do that, price triggers you, goes up, stops you out. So it helps you stay out of bad trades and gives you the confidence to ride good ones. So, do you remember me saying these orders are at 72? Although that was looking like it was coming down, look what's happening now. So it just, while you've got those orders sat there and they're still relatively strong, I would avoid getting in here. I wouldn't anyway, because the setup isn't right. You're looking at the CO current order book, the numbers. Not so much. You can see the current order book, but I'm looking more at the heat map. That's what's indicating to me more. And if you look at this, how well this follows this heat map, it's uncanny. Yeah, obviously the bigger these numbers are, the better. But that is indicated by how strong, how deep these reds are. I mean, if you look at that, quite deep there, 185 orders. I'm assuming they're orders, not contracts. Quite deep there. Up here, let's have a look. 68, it's quite fake. Down here, 150, it's quite strong coloured. So as we know, price generally as a rule moves towards liquidity. So as long as we've got strong liquidity down here and not much above, price will come down. So can you see this 72 area now? See what I mean? 1 minute it's there, next minute it goes. So, traders are maybe putting orders in and then maybe changing their mind. But there is still some at this level here. So that would keep me out of a short trade here just while they're there. So let's see what happens, see if price eats those orders. So, see how it's picked off some of the orders. Not quite high enough yet. A lot of them are disappearing. But if there's strong orders there, I wouldn't take a short there because that would indicate it may still get pulled up. That's the trouble with this YouTube version. The current order book isn't as super clear. My plan is just to use this for a bit, and if I can get some really good use out of it, then if you get the software, okay, so you can see I put that there. We had a strong push down and a little bit of sideways. Now, there'll have been traders thinking, we're not getting above that EMA, let's sell here. I left it because there was orders there, and what's happened? Price has gone up and picked up those orders. So it keeps you out of trades, bad trades, and gives you confidence when you get good setups. So 1, 2, 3 possible triple test up here. What level's this? 77, 75, which is here, and there are some at about 80. So are we going to get 2 legs up before this pushes down, or is this more of a range? I'm a bit on the fence here. Could be ranging a bit here, see? Maybe. It's hard to say. So we got a channel with a break. We got 2 legs up here. If we get a bearish bar, some may think about shorting that. But I can see there are strong orders at 77.50 and above, which is there, right where my stop would be if I took a short there. Let's see how it finishes. Now, if all of a sudden a load of aggressive sellers sell that hard, it won't get up there. Let's see if this triggers. There's going to be traders thinking, here we go, triple test or 2 legs up. Let's go short here. Let's see if it triggers. But while those orders are here, above here, I wouldn't want to take a short there. They're stronger down here at 70, which is here. Let's just see if there's no orders above and prices going up. Does that mean it's more likely to continue up? Not necessarily. It just means currently there's more aggressive buyers. So that bar didn't trigger, but if it did, I wouldn't have taken it because there's orders up here. So if there's no orders up here and prices going up, you'll usually see this little box up the side. See at the moment how there's more aggressive buyers than sellers. So this is trying to push price up a little bit. So I wouldn't take a trade here at the moment because I think there's a good chance price is going to get to this level. It's starting to get a bit deeper coloured at this at 80 level, which is above this bearish bar. Now there's bound to be liquidity there because that would have created some short orders, some short sellers there. So for me, I think price is going to hit this level and possibly that level. There's bound to be sellers here for a triple test. Now, if there's enough aggressive sellers, price will just continue down. But see the aggressive sellers popping up now a few seconds after that move because there's a slight delay. See how these orders up here now are getting ditched because price is moving down. So there's not many here now. They're getting stronger here. And that's where prices are going. So it's definitely a little bit chopping up and down here at the moment, isn't it? So it's not a magic bullet, but at times it can really help you. So strong orders at 65, which is there. And down here as far as 60. So I still think price is coming down. It does look like it's made a few attempts to push higher. And now this is failing. So I think price is going to come down now. Oh, excuse me. So here's those orders there. So it's just taken, they'll disappear now. It's a bit of a delay. There's more appearing down below around about 72.5, sorry, 62.5, which is around about there. Can you see them? Quite strong actually, down to 60. So my guess is price will move into this area. So if you've got a nice lower high here and you could see strong orders down here, you might think, I'm going to follow this down because I think price will get into this area. Now, after we've broken these lows again, there's bound to be a bit of profit taking, so it may come back. So you may see a few orders like this here, about 67, thinking if it does come back, I'm going to jump in there. But I still quite confident price is going to push back into here after maybe a small pullback, or maybe nothing. I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, you take it easy, Darryl. Have a good weekend, buddy. So there we go. It's moving into this area now. Are you looking for areas where price is being defended or above the level you want to stay short? All I'm looking for is there's two main reasons I buy this. If I've got a good idea where price is heading towards, it will help me make. See, I put that down there because I expected price to move into it. It did exactly what I thought. So if I see a triple test here and I see strong sellers above this order, I would avoid this trade because I'd expect it to trigger and push up. So it helps me stay out of trades Now, if there's no strong orders, if there's just slightly bright ones, but nothing special, but stronger down here, then I would probably take it. Then if I could see strong orders there, and really strong orders there, for me, after these two pushes up, price is going to push down. So in that case, I would probably hold instead of taking my kind of normal 3 points here. If I can see strong liquidity down low and not much above, I would try and ride this down a bar at a time like it's doing now. So I'll probably get stopped out there. So there's a possibility of 14 points there. So you're not always going to see that, but can you see how price is now? It's very black here and the orders are down below, and you can see how this follows down. So it's not perfect, but if you can catch a nice setup and see strong orders all the way down, that will give you the confidence to hold, and you could make 3 or 4 times profit that your normal trade does. So that's, you know, there's a couple of reasons for it. Yeah, it's hard to explain it really, but if you just look where these levels of liquidity are and see if price goes towards them, and if you think every time we get strong liquidity, price goes towards them, it helps you make more informed decisions and you'll stay out of more losses. See, I saw a guy take a trade. I won't say who it is, 'cause it's not fair. He took a trade and I saw him lose 2 trades over 2 days. He picked a bottom here. And I could see really strong red orders below, and it triggered him, came down, stopped him straight out. So if you know where there are strong buyers, I'm thinking if I'm buying here and there's strong buyers below me, I'm guessing if there's enough of them, they probably know more than I do. So it'll just help you make better decisions. But just watch it. Watch what it does. See the orders popping up here? Quite strong, about 66. So I'm thinking we're going to get a pullback here. So would I want to take a short there? When that bar finishes, I'll have a look and see if there are strong orders. See, they're starting to fade a bit now, so they're still there. So you may think we've had a pullback here, let's go short. But see these orders here at 65, which is there. I would probably wait because they may come up and get filled. Now, if there's a mass of sellers, aggressive sellers selling there, it probably won't come up. But the deeper that colour, the more chance it's got of getting up. So if you thought this moved down, there's a pullback here, let's sell here. With those orders sitting at 65, which is there, I'm going to wait. And more often than not, it'll save you a loss. So now it didn't trigger that, but if you took it, so see what's happened, yeah? Because I saw strong orders there, I put that line there. Now, if I'd have been taking a short there with those strong orders here, that could have saved me a loss. Now, fortunately, it never triggered anyway, and I wouldn't have taken it anyway. But can you see how price actually went up and picked off those sellers? So if you had been in a short now, possible second entry short here. Would I want to take a short? At the moment, no. Because there are orders around about there. Now, those orders can change. See them slightly fading and then sometimes getting stronger. So I would probably avoid this again. Now, if all of a sudden a massive load of sellers, aggressive sellers, start pushing this down, it'll go down. You know, this gives you some of the pictures, but then you've got people who think, oh, I like the sound of this, let's just go short. But at the moment, I'm sitting tight. Yeah, the order's at 65. 1 minute they're getting strong, next minute they're fading a bit. 1 minute they go red. So just at the moment, I think it's sensible just to wait and not take that short. You can see them at 60. I hope you can see that clear. It's probably easy for me to see than you. What I'd suggest is you just go onto YouTube, type in, you probably have anyway. and just type in bookmap live. I've got NQ here, but it is the ES. And then you'll be able to see it a little bit bigger. But you see those orders there, they're quite strong. And you see the aggressive buyers are pushing up a bit. And what's happening? Price is starting to move up. Now, if enough aggressive sellers jump in now, they may force prices down and it might not get up to this area. But while that's there, and they're there with big sell pockets, I'm just waiting. But there is quite an even amount of buyers and sellers here, so their orders right down here at 50. So this could go down for a second leg. But at the moment, I wouldn't get in. Not only that, it's starting to go sideways. So it depends. If there's kind of an average of buyers and buy orders up here and sell orders down here, price may go sideways until possibly we get aggressive sellers deciding this is the time now to start putting in, or vice versa. But while we got those orders at 65, we could have two legs up. So I'm just going to sit tight. I can tell that's attractive to short. But while those orders are there, I'm just going to sit tight here. We could get something like that. Depends. Okay, so this is just the YouTube version. It's someone streaming this, but there are loads of videos. If you wanted to purchase it, I think it's $49 a month, and I think you got to pay $10 a month for live data. But it's much clearer. You can download a free version for crypto and have a play around with it. So download it for crypto. It's free. Have a play around with it, adjusting stuff. But if you look here, you can adjust the strength of these and fade out some of these ones that don't mean so much. And it's much clearer. I've had a play around with it. So, and then if you think it's going to, until you can see where it's saving you money, mind you, you've only got to lose one trade. I've got 6 counts traded at the moment. If I lose one trade, that could be $900, $1,000. So if it saves you one losing trade, it's worth its weight in gold. Now, you can see this channel down, yeah? I guarantee you 2 pushes up, there's going to be sellers there selling that money. Now, one reason I wouldn't sell that is because it's congested anyway, but I guarantee channel down, people are going to be thinking, oh, second entry short, let's go short here. But I saw those orders up there and they're still there. And what's happening? It's been triggered and price is slowly moving up. Now, it doesn't mean it'll get there, but it's kept me out of a trade there and it's now starting to go sideways, which makes it even more dangerous. So if sellers are selling there, they may even sell that as a lower high. So that may mean there's more aggressive sellers pushing it down, or it means there's more sellers trapped. So you can see the aggressive sellers climbing there and pushing that down. So see these orders at 65. 1 minute they're deep red, then they go yellow. So there are sellers dragging their orders there, taking them out. 1 minute it goes dark, next minute it goes light. So once this pushes out the bottom, I can't see it's worth getting in here, so I think these orders will just start to disappear. We're out the bottom. Okay, can you see now? 65, they're fading away now. The deep pinks and yellows and reds have gone because prices moved down below this now. There's no point now. If you're going to get in, you're going to be trying to get in around the 60, 65 mark, which is why we're getting yellow at 60 there. Because there's traders saying, okay, if price does get back to here and test the bottom of this, then I'll have a go short. We can all see that there are orders sat down there at 50. So chances are 2 legs down, price is going to get back here. And you can't really jump in here. You've got to wait for a pullback. But you can see there are a few orders appearing around about the 60, which is there. So a little bit of maybe a breakout pullback, and then short here for a second move down. Exotic trader. Guys haven't accepted. Al Brooks has said many times that we already know the order flow because he can tell from the 5-minute. Yeah. The thing about this is, you know, you need something to tell you where those orders are, and you can see here. And while there are orders down here, going long for me isn't an option, even if the certain, I mean, and it's not at the moment, it's clearly bearish, but, you know, there are times where I'm thinking, okay, this looks like it's going up. And if below there's still loads of sell orders, then I'm obviously getting trapped in the wrong direction. Yeah. Liquidity is just basically orders. So if I wanted to sort of sell here now, if I'm
submitted.
This is obviously a sim, but if I put an order there at, say, let's put it out the way, let's say 70, that will show in a small amount. Obviously, I'm a small seller, but it will show there's a passive order. Now, if there's a bunch of us up here, chances are price is going to move towards that, because price is like, if you've got a market stall and you've got people who want to sell your stuff and people who want to buy your stuff, you're going to go to the one that's going to give you the most benefit, that's going to give you the bigger deal, aren't you? And that's kind of how prices work. So the easiest way I've heard it described is it moves towards liquidity like a magnet. So it's kind of like an EMA. So that's kind of how it works. But the best thing to do is watch a bunch of videos about it. And I don't think I explain things very well, to be honest with you. But I can still see orders at 65 there, which is here. 1 minute they're quite yellow, then they go deep red, and then they get dragged a bit. But I'm guessing as we've had a pullback here, there's going to be sellers putting orders in here thinking if we get a triple test, then I'll ride this low. There are still orders, red orders at 55, which is there. So I still think, okay, so there are orders right below the low there, and there are orders at 50 down here. So that is telling me there's more orders down here than there are above. So chances are price will move down. Now, that doesn't mean aggressive buyers can't decide to buy here. You know, if all of a sudden we got some positive news and aggressive buyers bought here, it's irrelevant to a degree that there are trades up here. Price will just push straight through them. But the deeper the red, the more orders there are and the more chance it's got of price getting there. So if you think we pull down here, we got 1, 2, triple test here. Triple test, you may think this is going down. We had a breakout pullback. You took a short there. Prices triggered, just stopped you out. Now, why didn't I get into a short there? It's because I can see orders up here. So it saves you getting in prematurely. It saves you in a bunch of different ways, really. So it's not for everyone. Some people just like pure price action. In fact, I watched a video last night, actually. Let me just explain things. I've only really started using it again over the last kind of week or two. I've had it on and off for a couple of years. Can you see these orders around about here? A little bit higher, actually. Do you know where they are? Higher than that bearish bar there. Some liquidity there. So see how they're getting deeper red? About 7, which is about there. So I think price will pop up here. To the higher left. Yeah. Let me just, where's the video I looked last night? I think that guy explained it really well. I think Cami Capital explains it really well. There's one you might want to watch. Bookmap for Dummies. That's Cami Capital. Now, when you get your own chart, look how much clearer that is. Much clearer. Yeah. I'll how do I copy that? I'll post that link. Paste. So he uses it, but look how much clearer that is. You can adjust this darker and lighter to get rid of certain, but look how much clearer that is. So I watched that last night, I think it was last night. Have a watch of him. He's a nice lad, actually. I've spoken to him a bunch of times, through the chat and what have you, but look how much clearer it is compared to this. I mean, this will get you by. It's working okay. Okay, see that order I put up there? So if you took a short there, triple test, triggered you, pushed up. So I couldn't go short here because I could see there was orders up here. Now look how it's worked towards those orders. Those orders are starting to move up a bit. You can see them. And there's a chunk of them at 75, which is there. So although this is looking bearish, it's all right knowing where prices are going, but we're still getting these pullbacks. But if, it just keeps you out of taking a short at a bad position, there's bound to be traders, here doing this, thinking, okay, Sam, we're going down here, lower height, there we go. Let's go short here. And what happens? Triggers you, moves up. Does Bookmap help with knowing whether we are in a range for a while or whether... Okay, when I was looking at price earlier, I said it looked like we were going a bit sideways there. Here. Now, what I could see on Bookmap is there was orders above and orders below, and they look quite even. Now, when you've got even amount of sellers and even amount of buyers, that generally creates price to go kind of sideways. It's like, you know what a kid's seesaw is, don't you? It goes up, one down. If you get two people that more or less weigh the same and they sit perfectly, it'll stay where it is. It may teeter a little bit. But if you've got more weight, if you've got a heavier guy on one side, it'll move towards the heavier guy. It's the same sort of thing. But my experience is you'll find if you get some orders across the top and orders across the bottom, price often goes sideways. So the best way to learn this is just, it's not actually as difficult as it looks. It looks like an absolute bloody mess, but it's relatively straightforward. It's just because it's so colourful. But can you see these orders are getting quite strong? Now this is starting to draw price up. So I think price is going to go up. Certainly, this is where I think price will go to. Now you can imagine there's liquidity along here. So that is 77.50. So look up there, 77.50. See that line of sellers up there? There's some at 75, some at 72. So my guess is sellers are thinking if price gets to this area, I'm going to short this to go lower. Now, if there's a leg down here and a leg down, and depending on how you're looking at price, it's going to go lower. If you think price is going lower, you'll be looking to enter short somewhere. Now, I can see three levels of sellers here. There's one there, 575. There's one there. And there's some a little bit lower, maybe here. So this area here, and rightly so, we bounce. If you wanted to sell this market, let's face it, it's bearish at the moment. This would be the area to sell it in, wouldn't it? So you can see strong at 75 there. That to me is probably the strongest colour. And funnily enough, it's right in the middle of these other bunches of buyers. So, if we had a channel up here with two legs down and you saw a second entry long and you see a massive buy orders up here, chances are you could probably try and ride that up. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it on such a bearish day, but, in general. But can you see how price is being drawn to this strength up here? But if you've got a good idea where price is going, it helps you gain direction. Half the battle sometimes when we're taking trade is getting the right direction. So, if this is showing us prices going up, if we can get a nice second entry long, that will help your decision-making process. So the majority of buyers are around, sellers are around this middle. Now, sometimes they may can their orders and just decide to jump in. You're bound to get some aggressive sellers coming in here as well. Really appreciate this education on bookmap. Really helped. That makes sense. Yeah, when you watch it and see what price does, you start to think, I've got a good idea now where price is going. Whereas before, you don't really. You've got a fair indication price is going to go down. But sometimes when we have a bearish day and we have a bearish start and you see it going sideways, you think it can't go down anymore. And sometimes you get focused on looking for longs. I've done it myself. And then all of a sudden we get another big push. So when I see these areas, I'm thinking price is looking bearish. Surely it's going to continue down. And then all of a sudden we get this big move up right to where these orders are. So it helps your decision making and gives you the confidence to stay in a profitable trade longer. It really does help. But it's like having it's like I don't know, being a goalkeeper with one arm tied behind your back. You're going to be nowhere near as effective as having both mitts. So it does give you more of the general overall context of what's going on, because so far this is looking bearish. Now, every time it comes back the EMA, you'd be looking for short, wouldn't you? If you went short there, it triggers you and had this big move up, taking out liquidity there, and judging by these levels, quite likely all this lot as well. So if you had traders in here, riding this down, thinking now we're going to go down a ton more, they get stopped out before price moves down again. Yes, it shows where people will be aggressively. Absolutely. Does give you a bigger picture. So see those strong buyers there at 70. So if I take that down to 70, I won't be surprised if price comes down there and bounces. It got close to it and then took off. That was aggressive buyers, I'm guessing. So see those strong orders down there at 70. I wouldn't go long here purely because of that. If you wanted to go long here, see, it may come down and hit your stop. And where that is, you've got sellers here. Those have been picked off. So if you went long there, it may hit those sellers. Right, it's just launched up. You're hitting liquidity now, see? And then come down. So there's a bit more at 80, which is here, which funnily enough is right above all this lot. So we're picking off all this liquidity now, which is why it's giving it that little bit of a push. And the strongest I can see is just above 80, which is basically where we are now. So you wouldn't have expected a big move like that, would you, after seeing all this? But we had it there. You would not know that was happening. But I put orders here, here, and here because the picture on Bookmap was telling me that's what it was going to do. So sometimes you're thinking, how can it move up like that when it's clearly just looping down and down and down? And all of a sudden you see these big orders down here. And if you watch them and listen to what they're saying, it's telling you price is going to come up, and it's done exactly what Bookmap is saying. So it helps you make better informed decisions. And you've got much more of the picture. So there's still orders starting to appear up here. Not as strong. There's still strong orders at 70. This is super strong. This is down here at 70. So I think price will at least head down to here, but it may push up here first. Depends. If there's aggressive sellers, price might not hit that level. It might come straight down. Or if there's aggressive buyers, perhaps it may go up. But if you just keep looking from left to right, you can really start to gain an overall picture of what's going on. So I can see those orders at 5 there. Relatively strong, although they're very strong down here. So I think this will stop at some point and have a strong pullback. But there is liquidity above here, and as we know, price likes to move towards liquidity. And we've got some right above there, so I'm pretty confident price will take liquidity out there and hit the rest. So if you wanted to sell, it's a good idea to sell above these areas where you know price is likely to clear before it does its thing. But then sometimes, if we've had such a strong move, you may get aggressive buyers thinking this is reversing. So then it may continue up. So at the moment, it's generally looking bullish, but we have got strong orders at here. So I'm not ready to go long yet because of these orders. So I think this is going to at least come back. But look how bullish it's looking now. So there's bound to be traders thinking I'm getting in on this ride up. And all of a sudden, if enough buyers start to buy it, and this thing goes up, these orders down here that are sat waiting to buy will just get yanked. And if they start to disappear, the thing will have even more traction up. An awful lot from Jared King. A lot of basic trading stuff. Good. I think it's good to watch. You know, I like to watch a multitude of people because I think someone's always got something to give. Trading is such a massive subject that I think the more you learn about the general overall of how things work and how people see things, I think it's only going to enrich your learning process. So, you know, don't have blinkers on. Just watch as many people as you can. I know there's a bunch of idiots on YouTube. There probably is, but for the most part, there's knowledgeable people, you know, with stuff to give, as we know, people say YouTube's full of morons trying to sell you this. Absolutely it is. But I think it's way worth watching because you're going to get value out of, see how strong these orders are above here now. Where are they? Around about 87-ish, somewhere around about there. There are orders down at 80. You can see them there. Very strong down at 70. So is this thing going to hit a point and start to move? But the more stronger these orders are, I suppose price will move towards them. And once this thing goes up far enough, traders will start to think about this is definitely a reversal. And then minds change then, don't they? So let's have a look at the overall. So far we've had this big move down. We've had a break in a new low. We've had this big move down and a break in a new low. And a big move up with a break. And then eventually started working down. And this is kind of the same... excuse me, the same kind of move up realistically, isn't it? So the orders now are just under 90. Maybe 8 to 90. So somewhere around about there, I think. So if price gets into here, it may then decide to take a break. Just going to take another bathroom break. Excuse me a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, what's happened? Okay, yeah, price came down and hit that 80 level. So that worked. Now, let's see what's going on here. See if this is going to push up. See this order's at 70 has just been yanked. See how it's disappeared? So I think price is at 90 there. This looks to me like it may push up a bit more. So we've got a possible break here. See what we goes up. There are some orders at there, just below here at the moment. Let's have a look. Where are they? And as long as they're not super strong, about 6 or 7 around about here. That's the beauty of having your own book map. You can see exactly what those numbers are. So 5 and 9. So it's around about halfway. It's about there, I'd say. But their orders right up to 90, which is here. So if we can get a nice 2 legs here, we may get to ride that up. That to me now is kind of over, I think, at least temporarily. As I say, there's not many orders down here, is there? Most of the orders are above now, so there are some there. So I would avoid a long here until it hits this area. And then we might possibly get a trade after all. I would like to see 2 legs down and push through this area. Now all of a sudden we get aggressive buyers. I'm guessing this is going to shoot up now. Oh no, slightly, but then it halted. So as long as those orders are there at 77, I'm not going long. 77.50 there. So see that big bullish bar there on the second chart? If you took that, I'd be concerned because of the orders at 77, which are there. Let's have a look. They're not super strong, but they're there. So that would keep me from going long there. Now, I'm not saying it won't push up if you get aggressive buyers, but I think that is looking dangerous now. Now, those orders at 67.50 have faded a bit, and it may not make... They're starting to get a bit yellow now, so I'd still have to wait for it, and we've pushed down, side was pushed down. So for me, this is creating a pattern of 2 legs down, something like this. 2 legs down and a move up. So I wouldn't be going long here, purely and simply because it's congested anyway. So if you took that long there, with those orders below price, that's a perfect example, I think, of when to stay out of a trade. Now, it may still work if aggressive buyers, but purely because those orders are there, I'm staying out of this. Now, if aggressive buyers push it up, then it is what it is. But while those orders are there, I'm just staying out of price. Yeah, I mean, it's like me. If I open an order down here, it'll pop up on the order book. Now, obviously, you've got to be trading your own accounts. But then if I change my mind or go, it looks like it's pushing up, I'll bin my orders. They'll disappear. So it's not a perfect system. So those orders at 77, they're still there, but they're not super strong. They're much stronger further up. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? But I'm not super confident. So look at this now. I'm guessing there's aggressive sellers are going to rise up now, because this is pushing down quickly. So still a reason not to take that one. So this might be 2 legs back. So now, would I have got my profits there? I wouldn't have done, depending on how you got in. Let's have a look. So I'd have got in about there. So that would have bounced off mine. It would have to push through. Now, it may still go up. Depends whether these orders are strong. And these passive orders will be traders going, if price gets down to here, I'll buy and ride this up. Wherever they think it's going. But when we had that push up like that, you may get traders thinking, I'm getting out of here. It's a bit slow and a bit, so that can, kind of make a difference as well. But look down the bottom now below price. There's no real strong orders because I think traders are starting to think this is moving up now. This down stuff is over. It's starting to look like it's on the turn to me. I wouldn't have taken this purely because it's only a first entry. It's not, well, I mean, yeah, I suppose it's a second entry technically, but I just don't like it. It's a bit congested. And I'd like to see something a little bit clearer. So if this thing pushes down now with aggressive sellers, it's going to clear a ton of liquidity because there's bound to be buyers here. So sometimes, even if you haven't got many orders here, you may still get aggressive sellers trying to push that thing down. Let's see if these aggressive sellers climb up now. Okay, this looks like it's flushing stuff to me. There we go. So you see the aggressive sellers there just sprung up. So it's a good idea to stay out of this because that just didn't look right to me. So I'd be looking for buying here somewhere. Can you see some buyers there? I'd be looking to buy this. If I can open a blooming damn trade.
Order submitted.
So there are still orders there around about slightly lower, but strong orders up here. It's very tempting there. I think we'll get some aggressive buyers here. It's 13 ticks. It's just taking off now, isn't it? Aggressive buyers are pushing it up now. Yeah, they're not very strong here, so this is going up for me, I think. Unfortunately, it's gone without me, I think. So, there was just some down here which made me nervous, but look where that is, 88 and 90, right in this area here. So I'm quite confident price is going to get up there. No setup on this chart. Could try and get in here on a limit order. Trouble is, it's already pushed up mainly, isn't it? See if it gives us a limit order. Could have gotten it on a limit order. It is 2 legs back, isn't it? How far's it gone? Okay, I wouldn't have been out of it. Trouble is, it's a big risk, isn't it, if I get in there? Yeah, there's not much below now. Most of it's above 88, which is in this area. So I'm quite confident price will get in there. So if you got an absolute beautiful long setup here and you can't see many buy orders below, you may decide to ride that up. Do you know, I'm going to get into this if it'll give me it. I don't know, it's going to, is it? What is there are orders at 77, which is a touch below here. I don't think they're strong enough there. There is a higher low there, but I can't get in there. It's just too far off that EMA. I was tempted to get in here. I put it there for a second, but it didn't quite get me. Wow, look at that. Now, aggressive sellers pushing that down. I'm surprised that's happened. Maybe we get a triple test here. See the orders there? Red orders. About 7 or slightly below. It may hold. It may hold. You can see those orders are quite strong. No, it hasn't done so. this thing's going.
Order
Some
cancelled.
aggressive sellers there. So sometimes things might surprise you. $40 lifetime fee is a monthly recurring thing. No, it's not, mate. That's why it's called a lifetime fee. No, it's just a once-off. 2 legs down. It's tempting, that is. I'm gonna have a go
Order
at that.
submitted.
It's nice 2 legs down. Let's see where it goes. There is strong orders up here. We'll see. 2 legs back. Come on, let's have a push up. It's a bit more risk than I really wanted. Let's get out of this, I think. If it'll let me. I don't think it will, to be fair. Come on. Let me get out of it. Have a push up. Oh, there may be a higher low here. We'll see. Possible higher low here. More risk than I really wanted. This is where you want aggressive buyers. I think it's going to take me out, I think. But that's okay. Sometimes it happens.
Order filled.
Okay, so I'm out of that. I thought that was okay, actually. Perhaps I should have waited for a higher low. So I'm out now. I'm blocked out for the day, so I can't trade. So I'm not down too much. Overall, I think it's between 119 and 157. I thought that was okay, actually. We got to move up 2 clear legs down. But it's one of those things. Sometimes it doesn't always work. It's a bit hard today. It's not the... let's have a look. Could sort of argue. We've already had a break and a new high, so it's just one of those things, isn't it? So I'm not down a huge amount, to be fair. It's a little bit. So there you go. So you sent me a Discord. I'm not on the... Oh, what Discord are you in? What Discord are you in? I'll have a look in a bit, bud. So I'm going to leave you guys to anyway. Have a great weekend. I appreciate your company. And I'll be back on Monday and we'll do it all again. Bye for now.